one cashmere sweater in my wardrobe at one point in time. I probably wore it once or twice. That stuff is like sitting inside an oven when you wear it.
And it's itchy, too.
I didn't find it itchy. I just found it hot. I mean, like ridiculously. And it was just too much for me.
I told you the story of where I was at a station. It was WDRE in New York. And the sales manager gave the sales staff, everyone's getting cashmere scarves. And we're all looking at it and go, that's amazing. Look at the label. That says cashmere.
Cashmere. That's like pleather, right?
It's like pleather.
Their version of pleather. Cashmere. Well, the sentiment was there.
Yes.
All right, so as I teased earlier in the entertainment report, the jury in the Sean Diddy Combs federal sex trafficking and racketeering trial in New York City said that it reached a partial verdict in the case. But the judge told them that they need to continue deliberating on the remaining count. The jurors sent a note to the judge late Tuesday afternoon saying they had reached a verdict on 4 of the 5 counts, but were unable to agree on count 1, racketeering conspiracy. The note indicated there are jurors with unpersuadable opinions on that charge.
So when they say partial, they mean they're releasing, we believe he is guilty. Right.
Instead of guilty.
They haven't given the full verdict yet.
So after discussing the options with attorneys for both sides, Judge Aaron Subramanian asked that the jury keep deliberating on the remaining charge, which is what prosecutors and defense attorneys asked for.
What I have a question about is if they've come to a conclusion about some of the charges, if they can't come to a conclusion about this charge, does that send it all back for retrial, or what is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Not really sure. I would assume...
I mean, I'm pre-med.
No. I would think that if they have been able to conclude on each count, is it separate? But, Steve, I don't know. The jury will return to continue deliberations 9 a.m. today. After the note from the jury was brought to the court, Combs was seated with his attorney surrounding him, standing in a half circle. He appeared to be praying with his head bowed and his hands folded on his lap. He wiped and rubbed his eyes, but it wasn't clear if he was crying or not. Jurors began the deliberations on Monday, so they continue into today. We'll see where that goes. But it's interesting. I haven't been when it comes to trials like this, there are so many details that they release. It gets overwhelming after a while.
It's too much.
So I don't follow it that closely, but I just was kind of reading a little bit of a summation of what happened during it. But he never took the stand, and his attorneys never called any witnesses in his defense.
No.
At all.
And the people who assess this, so I follow this YouTube channel where the guy kind of takes the popular... the trials that are getting a lot of attention and sort of dissects them. His assessment is this is not going well for Diddy, but there could be an outcome that works for him. It's like the Baldini, the Blake Lively, Justin Baldini thing. I don't know. It's too much. There's too much specificity.
But he does.
I'm stupid.
He could face life in prison if he's held to guilty in all of those. Speaking of the Baldoni case and Blake Lively, their team has reportedly issued subpoenas to content creators Perez Hilton, Candace Owens, and Andy Signore, I guess.
Oh, yeah. No, we've had him on.
Yeah.
Andy
We did?
Yeah. He did like a movie review stuff, right?
Yes. He was one of the first.
Yeah.
And then he had a bit of a Me Too moment.
The subpoenas, I remember him, are reportedly an effort to support claims that Baldoni orchestrated an online smear campaign against her, which he denies. Her lawsuit accuses him and his publicists of planting negative content online to damage her reputation. They allege that he used a strategy of putting harmful narratives out through social media. She has also subpoenaed Scooter Braun, while Baldoni previously subpoenaed Taylor Swift, but later dropped that and considered Hugh Jackman as their legal battle continued.
Wow, I would subpoena Clint Eastwood because I've always wanted to meet him.
Baldoni's team maintains that any negative press was organic, and a trial is scheduled for March of 2026. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet are still full steam ahead, and they're taking a huge next step in their relationship. And no, they're not moving in together. You got to think bigger than that. Yep, Kylie now follows Timothy on Instagram.
Oh, my God.
I know.
Oh, my God. Now, say they're technically both following each other.
Wow. No, he is not following her.
He does not follow her.
No.
Okay, wow.
So,
well, that's a breach of protocol.
Well, she only follows 119 counts in total. He hasn't followed her, but because he doesn't follow anyone. on his official page. Not one single account.
What's the next step? A see-through kayak?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Take it to the next level. Yeah. Honey, I got you something.
It's a see-through kayak. Oh, my God, I can see fish.
All right. So just regarding this Instagram thing, if he ends up following her, that'll be big news, obviously, because he doesn't follow anybody. So he will exponentially increase the number of people that he follows from 0 to 1. But then when they break up down the road, and then he will have to unfollow her, that will also be big news.
Let me introduce what I consider at this point an outlandish concept, but maybe less outlandish. Could they end up getting married?
Oh.
Could they
could.
end up getting...
I mean, they could, yeah.
They have defied... I didn't think it would go this long.
Yeah. I agree, Marissa.
This is a big step because I do remember dating people, and there was a level of like, you're kind of making it social media official, and as Nick points out, when it's not just like public, like hidden, like when it is just out there, like if you follow nobody and now you're following one person, the fear of the repercussions of the breakup is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like I remember like having to go through like how long when you break up with someone, do you immediately erase the photos of them off your page?
Right.
Do you wait a couple of weeks? Do you wait a month? Do you never do it because you just leave all your history? Like it's actually the repercussions of it. Yeah. That's the worst part of it.
I'm so glad I've never had to consider that. Not once. I mean, just timing wise, it was not a part of my world.
You've been married all the time that social media became a thing. I'm curious as to if Nick, and maybe you have some insight into this, if KFC will start following both of them. Because they only follow a handful of people.
Yeah, I think they follow 11. I think they follow the herbs and spices, and then
the Spice Girls and
the Spice Girls.
And
That's
seven
it.
guys
Thanks, Maurice.
named Herb.
KFC is a more elite follow.
And some guy named Herb, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And spices.
And the Spice Girls, Well, they've upped it to... They've upped it to 33.
Oh, my goodness.
All those yum brands they probably have to do.
Tom Green is one of them, Nick.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
That's the mutual follow between the Preston and Steve account and KFC.
That's a connection, man.
We don't follow Scary Spice.
Well, I don't know.
No.
All right, so the couple, by the way, were first linked in April 2023 and made their public debut 5 months later at Beyonce's concert. And so, Steve, they've stuck it out for a little while now. It's looking fairly promising.
He's really, listen.
I like him a lot.
He's really good.
He's real good.
His performance as Dylan was extraordinary.
I loved
Stuff
it.
in Dune is extraordinary.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's talented.
I liked the Willy Wonka thing,
Willy
too.
Wonka
I
was
thought he was
good.
great. So he's solid.
All right, I'm just going to say it. I think he's all right.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I like him.
Yeah. I think he's all right. I think he's a handsome guy. I think the one with him and Stephen Carell, that was probably his best performance.
What, the one with him and Steve? I don't know.
I think it might be Baby Boy or Beautiful Boy or yeah.
Did you watch A Complete Unknown yet?
I didn't finish it. I'm getting there.
Okay.
I think
he's not your taste.
Yeah, and I get it. You can't have two heartthrobs.
You can't. You cannot.
Yeah.
No. And I am.
And that's your position.
One eclipses the other, and you just feel bad
There's
about
a natural thing going on. I get it.
All right, famed televangelist Jimmy Swaggart, dead. Can we revive our old dead thing?
Yeah, we need that.
We haven't done that in a long time. Steve, do you have...
he has it. The De Niro dead song.
I'm the De Niro dead guy.
Okay. All right, hang on. And this is organic, by the way. You have to play the music and then separately add in the sound effects, the voice effects, in order for this to work. But we did this as an accident ages ago. And for a while, we were doing it when someone had died. Casey accidentally played... Give It To Me Baby from Rick James. And we didn't know why. It was an accidental thing. And then we started playing the clip of Robert De Niro saying dead. So if you want to hit it, Casey,
Dead. Oops.
That's all right. You got to warm up.
Dead.
Thank you.
Dead.
All right, so.
Dead.
And it's okay to do this because it's Swagger.
All right, Jimmy Swaggart died in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Tuesday. His family and publicists announced he was 90 years old. The Pentecostal preacher and pioneer of televangelism had been in critical condition at a Louisiana hospital after going into cardiac arrest on June 15th. Swaggart's 70-year-old son, Donnie, said his father was found at about 8 a.m. at his home and revived before being taken to a local hospital. At the time of death, he was the co-pastor of the Family Worship Center, which he had founded. His cousins included rock and roll icon Jerry Lee Lewis and country music star Mickey Gilley. Swaggart, who authored more than 100 books and commentaries, held evangelistic crusades in more than 40 countries, his family said, filling stadiums with tens of thousands of worshipers. And as a musician, he sold 17 million gospel albums.
That's true, yeah.
Yep.
The guy was the ultimate con artist.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and you remember one of the great scandals. You had the Pat Robertson, right? That was the PTL. Mm-hmm. No, he was the Jessica Hahn. Who was that? Who was...
Dude, I lost track.
That was Jim Baker.
Jim Baker, thanks, Nick. So Jim Baker.
It's hard to keep track of all.
I know all of these fallen evangelists.
Yeah.
But he in particular was frequenting a local motel where apparently he was banging prostitutes all the time.
And I hate to judge a book by its cover, but I just look at all of their faces and I'm like, you guys are all scumbags.
Yeah.
Fake tans, whitened teeth, coiffed, the whole damn thing.
Well,
the schmuck who has the jets.
The private jets. That guy actually, to me, looks like your classic movie villain.
He's just horrible.
You know what I mean? Like he has an underground lair under a volcano.
You need to understand, it costs a lot to build a lair under a volcano.
What was his name? Kenneth Copeland? Or something like that.
Yep.
I can fly commercial.
And then Duplantis, was that the other one?
yeah.
The two guys?
Yeah, Preston, to clean the lava out of a volcano so I can put my mahogany desk. It just costs a lot.
It just makes me ill. Makes me absolutely
And then what
ill.
happens is people go back to donating.
Oh, my God, yes. Dude, yes. It is, and it's probably worse than ever.
Yeah.
You know, they know how to do it.
Welcome to my volcano.
His full-time ministry, Jimmy Swaggart, kicked off in 1955 as the preacher grew to become one of the most recognized voices in Christian broadcasting, his family said. In 1973, the Jimmy Swaggart telecast started, eventually growing to reach more than 100 countries each week, being translated into more than a dozen languages. And during the height of his 1980s exposure, Swaggart became involved in various prostitution scandals, leading to his suspension and defrocking. In 1988, it was when Swaggart delivered his infamous "I Have Sinned" speech on live television.
I was doing a lot of defrocking. From behind, in front, with another dude.
In 1995, at age 60, he founded the Sun Life Network, radio network, expanding gospel programming across North America, which currently broadcasts to more than 300 million TV homes across the globe. So,
Jesus.
Yep, he pulled it off. 90 years old, and he is
Had a good run.
dead.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. All right, I have some other things. So we have a death, but we'll have a wedding to pass along. Congratulations to Succession actor Annabelle Dexter-Jones. Annabelle.
Is on Succession.
On Succession, Casey, she played Jeremy's girlfriend. She was another from Elite Family. Yeah.
Oh,
I liked her a lot.
Yeah.
She was really cute. So she married famous chef Daniel Humm over the weekend. The pair were first seen together as a couple at the U.S. Open last September. The wedding was an A-list affair. Dexter Jones' stepbrother, producer Mark Ronson, played Foreigner's "I Want to Know What Love Is" for the newlyweds. It was a song written by the bride's father and Foreigner co-founder Mick Jones.
How about that crap?
They wrote that song. So her dad co-wrote that song with Mick Jones from Foreigner.
So how many, these chefs score quite nicely.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence is married to a chef as well, right? Cook Maroney, I think his name is.
Yeah. So congratulations to them, which is cool. Actor and singer Halle Bailey has apparently moved on from her baby daddy. She was photographed on a boat in Italy cuddling up to a mystery man. She's currently embroiled in a bitter custody battle for her one-year-old son with her ex-rapper DDG. The former couple have a hearing later this month to determine permanent custody from that. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. I'd mentioned this the other day, this book. But the memoir of a child TV star is being turned into a series starring an adult TV star. So Jennifer Aniston has signed on to be a part of a new Apple TV Plus series based on Jeanette McCurdy's 2022 memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died.
So is she playing Jeanette McCurdy? Because she's older.
I think she's going to play her mom.
Okay, all right.
So the memoir detailed the former iCarly star's relationship with her abusive mother and her path to recovery following her mother's death in 2013. The angle that the dramedy will take, it centers on the codependent relationship between an 18-year-old actress in a hit kid show and her narcissistic mom who relishes in her identity as a starlet's mother.
It could be good. You read the book. Did you like it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
It's very compelling, yeah. McCurdy will be a co-showrunner and will executive produce along with Jennifer Aniston. So.
As a show, I think I would like to get some investors and do the definitive Joey Lawrence story.
The story of Joey Lawrence.
And some one-word title. Whoa.
Yeah, that's got to be it, most definitely. So let me see here. How about this story? Squid Game finale. Began and ended with a bang with season 3 breaking records on Netflix, pulling in 60.1 million views in its first 3 days. The huge number earned it a spot as the 9th most watched non-English TV show ever on the platform, according to Netflix's top 10.
And that's the reason, really, why you have an entire subcategory of Korean television on Netflix, because that show did so well. I watched the first season, really loved it, but I haven't been back for the other.
Yeah, listen, the second season is, it's just like the first season. It's got the same vibe and all that. And I did enjoy it. I just have a hard time when they are like having a great time and skipping and playing these games. I'm like,
you know it's coming.
If you don't skip fast enough, you're going to get shot in the head. What is so fun about that?
Yep. So season 3 picks up where Ji-hun, played by Lee Jung-jae, and I'm probably messing up these names. I apologize. I haven't watched it. Diving deeper into the deadly games, this time aiming to take them down from the inside. So this is good news. Shane Gillis and the crew at Tires are going to keep on spinning at Netflix. The streamer has announced the scripted comedy has been renewed for a 3rd season.
I figured that was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Tires will follow Will, played by Stephen Gerben, as he tries to turn his father's business around while dealing with his chaotic cousin, Shane. And you have to wait a minute or so for new episodes, however, as the 3rd season will drop sometime next year. Of course, they've been featuring guest stars like Vince Vaughn, Thomas Hayden Church, Ron White, and more. So congratulations to those guys. And also, The Bear is staying open for another season. FX has announced that the hit show will be coming back for a 5th season, slated to premiere next year. Of course, the series stars Jeremy Allen White, Ayo Edeberry, and Eben Moss-Bacharach, and centers around the restaurant and its title. Season 4 premiered last week on FX, and the entire run, including the latest season, can be streamed on Hulu and Disney+.
I finally started watching last night, and it occurred to me that whoever's producing the soundtrack for this show really likes all of the soundtracks that Cameron Crowe put together. There's like Led Zeppelin, That's the Way. There's Getting in Tune by The Who.
Yeah.
It's great music. I love it. Don't get me wrong. But I was like, yeah, I've heard these on other soundtracks before.
Yeah, so we're about a little over halfway through it. We're taking our time on purpose. We'll watch 2 episodes and then stop.
How many episodes this season? Because we're 4 through.
Okay.
And I love it. I'd heard some people were saying that it was repetitive. I'm like, but that's kind of what the industry is, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I was reading something as well this morning, Steve, that said it's as far as Rotten Tomato goes, it's getting a lower score of all the other seasons so far. But I'm loving it. I'm loving every bit of it so far.
Yeah, because it's the uphill battle of getting getting a review in other papers and rising to the challenge. And though when you watch that show, I don't know of any show that uses more extreme close-ups than The Bear.
Yep.
It's wild.
Wait, so some of the criticism is that it's repetitive?
Yeah, but the mechanism is repetitive.
Well, the first episode is Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that's deliberate in that if they know that there's going to be a season 5, sometimes you have to take the whole of all of the seasons and recognize that one of the seasons might not be as great as the other 5.
Yeah, agree.
The other
I'm
4.
enjoying it so far, though.
Yep. I thought this was kind of fun. This is more of a sports story, but New York Mets pitcher Dickie Lovelady has a name that turns heads, and it also caught the eye of a prospective employer. Richard Lovelady recently revealed it goes by Dickie, and it was off to the races at that point. While the internet had a laugh over the name, adult website Cam Soda sold $. So the Cam Soda vice president, Darren Parker, went into specifics and said, as a left-handed relief pitcher known for handling pressure, we think he's the perfect fit to bring some heat in a whole new arena. They offered him $250,000 to take a swing at adult entertainment.
Come on.
She said, we'll take care of of the tech, the fans, and the lights. You just bring the love lady presence that's already turning heads. It's not likely that he'll take them up on their offer. Not only is he married, but at last report, he was making 3 times the offer amount to play baseball.
Well, they did have a success when they convinced Yogi Berra to make that porn movie.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, and then one last story, and then we'll get to the clips. In a move that probably isn't a shocker at all, ABC has decided to renew The Bachelor once again. And this renewal gives the dating show a milestone 30th season
30 seasons
of The Bachelor. There's also plenty of Bachelor content to go around with series like Bachelor in Paradise. The Golden spin-offs still going strong. The Bachelor is believed to come back around its normal mid-season window. Meanwhile, The Bachelorette is skipping a cycle but has not been canceled. So that is still there, if you were wondering.
Collectively, I wonder how many hours of television between The Golden Bachelor, The Bachelor, The Bachelorette,
Bachelor Nation. Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, that's a good question. That is a lot of programming.
A lot of television.
Yeah. All right, we're ready for clips. Heads of state will be director. I guess that's the name of it. Okay, will be director Ilya Naishuler's second action thriller since his action-packed film Nobody in 2021. In this clip, he details when the right moment is for potentially doing a sequel for this new project.
I think it's very important to focus on one thing, have the beginning, middle, and the end. And if the audience love it enough and there's a desire for more, we can figure that out separately. It's already like an hour and 45 of high-quality entertainment. That's not easy. Let's get that right. If it happens, great. Would I love to work with these guys again as these characters? Yes.
Shut up, dummy.
Heads of State is streaming now. You can find that on Amazon Prime Video.
I'm not familiar with it.
Next clip. 9 Perfect Strangers returns with a new cast, with new cast members and a new location in the Swiss Alps. And here, cast member Annie Murphy talks about what audiences can expect from season 2 of Nicole Kidman's character.
Masha has revealed herself to be a very complicated character, especially as season 2 kind of unravels. We start questioning Masha's motives. You know, I think she's very self-serving, which is never a great quality to have in a therapist.
I don't think I want to see it.
I have a total crush on this gal, Annie Murphy. She was in S's Creek, and she was also in Kevin Can F Himself.
Yeah, she's great.
There's something really adorable. Case, I think you would find her super cute,
who is she
too.
in S's Creek?
I didn't
one of the
watch
daughters.
it.
She's the daughter.
Yeah, she's David's sister. Of the 4 family members, it's Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, Annie Murphy, and David. David Levy.
All episodes of 9 Perfect Strangers are streaming now on Hulu if you want to check that out. All right. That's our entertainment report for today, dear friend. I think I'm going to whisper for a portion of the program today.
Really draws the audience in.
Bring you guys in close, intimate.
That's where that broadcast school pays off, right?
Yeah, you got to learn how to mic techniques. See, I mean, normally I'd be like back here.
Right.
Like a foot and a half away from the mic or whatever.
You're coming close.
Every now and then you just got to get in tight.
Ooh, he's talking to me.
Yeah, right. All right, that's annoying. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a moment. We'll dive into the meat of the program. We're going to check in with our friends at Fox Good Day as well today, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
And
This is not the connoisseur.
No, it is
It's not your parents' connoisseur.
And Nick is giggling because I think he knows what it's about. So we were at Subaru doing our live broadcast a couple weeks ago, and I was online, and I was just pulling up some stuff, and I saw sometimes these headlines, like in prep services, I'm like, okay, whatever, man.
Yeah.
And it was like 5 of the best celebrity chef egg salad recipes. And I just turned to Nick and I go, Nick, what's your favorite celebrity egg salad recipe? And then, warranted, I just was doing it as a throwaway jokey line. Nick gives me his top 3 favorite types of salads.
Of course he did.
And so then we started having a discussion amongst me and Casey and Nick of favorite types of salads. Now, by that, not really meaning lettuce-based salads.
Anything.
We were keying off of egg salad, but we were going through things like macaroni salad, potato salad, chicken salad, tuna salad.
And macaroni, did you say?
I said macaroni.
Okay, yeah,
sorry.
all right.
And there's three bean salad. There's bean salad.
Okay, yeah.
There's all kinds of different salads.
I ranked my 5.
All right, what were your 5?
Was tossing my in there?
No. Well, that's number 6.
I have no interest in having my salad tossed.
I've never. No. Listen, when a guy asks for it, I'll do it.
Okay.
But
You'll do it, but you don't want it done.
No, I don't.
Either way.
That's what my bidet is for.
All right, anyway, go ahead. Nick's favorite salads.
You want to 1 to 5 or 5 to 1?
5 to 1. I like ending at
3.
number 1.
Yeah, all right.
With a drum roll before we get to 1.
Number 5, and this is just my personal ranking.
Yes.
Tuna.
Okay.
Then number 4.
Wait.
All right.
Okay. I'll forward it to you. I wrote it down too, Steve, so I didn't
Do you
forget.
have Rizzo counting them off, by the way, Casey?
Nah, but not direct.
He does
going the other way.
He does the other way. Yeah.
1,
Tuna?
2, 3.
All right, number 5.
I'll tell you all my salads.
I'll toss your
I'll
salad.
toss your salad back there behind the house over there.
Yeah.
This is my ranking. Number
Right.
5, tuna. Steve, number 4, potato. Number 3, egg. Number 2, macaroni.
Wow.
Number 1, chicken.
Chicken salad.
All
Okay.
right, so I admire your diversity. I say I would disagree heartily a lot of it,
Heartily?
but I believe in your this list.
I think you and I
believe it means something to you, and I respect that.
Thank you.
really
Because you
very
and I
much.
we're on the same page quite a bit.
We are.
Food
However,
related.
I'll
All right.
tell you this: I stand in direct contradiction to my wife's own salad loves.
Okay.
Someone who I've seen naked. So,
So there's that.
so there's that.
Right.
I love. Well, let you go first. I want to hear everyone else's before I commit to my list.
I'm actually making my list right now.
all right.
I didn't.
All right, I'm going to go. I'll tell you this.
I
was
need
gonna
to
say-
come up with number 5.
I'll tell you what. Okay, Kathy.
No, I was going to say I could go first because I don't like any of those because they contain mayonnaise and it.
You don't like mayonnaise?
No,
Okay.
to me it disgusts me. I could tolerate.
There's mayonnaise
chicken.
in my shorts right now.
I could tolerate chicken salad.
You know what though? Hang on a second. One of the best tuna salads I've ever had was not mayonnaise based. It was oil based.
See, that I could do.
With like some capers and a lemon in there.
It's just and listen, I used to like it, but like over the years, I can't stand mayo. So any of those, I pass up on.
What
them.
about cream cheese? Can you do cream cheese?
If it's
like a cream cheese salad.
I don't like cream cheese
Okay.
that much, but if it's light, maybe.
Cream cheese
Because
nuts and
I
mayonnaise.
saved this recipe for an egg salad that calls for cream cheese.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I hate egg salad.
Oh, so that would be would that not even
I
be
am
in your
not
top
a fan
5?
of potato salad. In the battle of there's always potato salad and macaroni salad side by side. Macaroni wins every time.
All right, I got my list here.
All right.
All right.
So, and 2 of them are kind of the same.
same
Why
thing.
is there no TV coverage of this?
Well, I'll explain here. So I have number 5 is pasta salad, but number 4 is macaroni salad. In case he's like, well, they're the same thing. No, not the way
No.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah.
Heathen.
So
Pasta salad doesn't have mayo.
Yes,
I
you're right.
could go with pasta salad.
That's oil based,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So that's usually oil or maybe some Italian dressing or
Yes.
something like that.
I love pasta
Does
salad.
macaroni salad have mayo in it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
Oh, okay.
And then
I've
you're thinking maybe a different version of macaroni salad, but yes, it's got mayo and sometimes a little sugar. So sometimes they make it a little bit.
I've had
sweet.
macaroni salad.
Cheese.
I've had pasta salad with something that was very similar to like a mayonnaise-ish type of thing. But I macaroni salad can operate on many different levels.
man.
And Casey,
I mean, pasta salad, excuse me.
right, yeah. So Casey has a point though that pasta salad can be made with macaroni, but that's not macaroni salad.
Right.
No.
Yes.
Right.
Agreed.
Unless you're a
Agreed.
jerk.
Now, somebody just texted something that I completely forgot about and would put on my list. So
Is it ambrosia?
It's ham salad. You guys ever had ham salad?
I don't
Is that
like
like
it.
is that like hoagie salad? Because I've had a hoagie
No,
salad.
it's not quite like hoagie dip is kind of hoagie
Yeah.
salad, I guess you could call that. But
Yeah.
But no, ham salad is essentially it's ham and some relish and mayo and salt and pepper, and it's kind of blended up. And the ham is finely, like not even minced. It's like even
Yeah,
smaller than
okay.
that. It's kind of blended.
I've had it with like cubed ham in it, Preston.
That too,
Right.
That's
So
a chunky. That's chunky ham salad. All right. So anyway, let me
Come on,
finish my
please,
list.
come
All right.
on.
Get off my back. It's over.
It's over.
All right. So
Coming back, Vietnam. People trying to tell me what their favorite salads were. I got my own list.
Remember, this is stupid Preston and Steve chat, by the way.
Yep.
Number 3, I would make tuna salad on my list. It's got to be made the right way, though. That's the thing. I'm really picky about it. One of my favorite tuna salads is from Panera. Number 2 would be chicken salad. And without question, no holds barred, my absolute favorite type of salad is potato salad.
Wow.
Potato.
Wow. Do you boil them?
I love it. I mash them. I shove them in a stew. No, but I like all different kinds of, I like the German potato salad.
Potatoes.
Yep. I like
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
tons of different. My mom made this really great potato salad, which every now and then, it's a lot of work to make it, but every now and then we'll make it. It's got bacon and egg and pickles and bread and butter pickles. I know you hate those, Casey.
Not a big fan.
But yes, I think potato salad is by far my number one.
And so
that's
we're
just
not
me
talking
personally.
about any lettuce-based salad, kale-based salad.
I think we're staying away from that.
because
Yeah.
that's
Just wanted to make
that's
sure.
a standard. And there's so in that case, I would love a Mediterranean salad. I would love
I'd love a Greek salad.
spinach, arugula, also as well, Preston, but like a feta, olives.
Actually, I would go with a wedge. I like a good wedge.
All of that in a classic
wedge.
Mediterranean stew.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, I want to hear your list.
Salad stew. Okay. I don't even know if I can put this. All right, so I love tuna salad.
Okay, is that your 5 or your 1?
Okay, this is hard, man.
I
This is harder
know.
than I thought.
This seems frivolous and
No.
stupid on you try it.
Wars
You
have been fought over this.
You try and make your list of top
The
salads.
Peloponnesian War was a salad-based war.
I did not
Peloponnesian
know that.
Yeah,
War?
absolutely. I'm gonna go. You twisted my melon because of the last-second introduction of pasta salad.
Okay. Yeah.
Because pasta salad is so versatile. You could put tuna in a pasta salad. You could put chicken in a pasta salad.
Absolutely. But I think that it still remains at its heart, whatever you add to it, a pasta salad.
I love tuna salad prepared. I'm like you, man. It's got to be the right way.
Be right way.
If you F it up, I'll slit your throat. I will tell you this. We actually have a tuna salad brought in from the Broadway Deli on Hicksville Road in Long Island from our relatives every time they come down.
That's the best?
That's the best.
Your favorite?
That's our favorite.
Okay.
All right. And then you move on to, I would say, chicken salad's okay. In a barbecue setting where you have potato and macaroni always wins. I'm going to go with tuna and pasta salad as my favorite salads.
Okay.
I don't like potato salad. I hate egg salad. Macaroni again will be a winner. Chicken in a pinch. But I'm not as my palate is not as cultivated as yours, as you guys.
I do like egg salad, but I will back you up, Steve. It can be a little scary sometimes. It can be a little daunting. Do you like deviled eggs?
Not much.
Okay.
And then to me, it's
kind of like
yeah.
deviled eggs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm surprised. Well, not surprised, but my friend Matt just texted me, why didn't we include fruit salad? And
Man, I didn't even think of that.
I
love fruit salad.
But we're going to have to, I think, we're staying savory.
Son of a bitch.
I know.
God damn you.
We are staying savory. Okay.
Because I didn't think of it until when you brought up ham salad, Preston. That made me think of shrimp because they're both pink. So then I'm thinking shrimp salad.
No way.
I just want to quote
In
the
your top
Wiggles.
line? Yeah.
Fruit salad. Yummy.
Yummy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on.
Do any of those, Nick, do any of them sneak into your top 5? You had mentioned shrimp salad. Does that sneak into your top 5 at all?
I'm afraid shrimp does. I think shrimp.
Okay. So you're saying tuna's out.
What does it bump from your original 5, which was
shrimp bumps tuna.
Yeah, because tuna was his 5th.
Are you
I agree.
me?
I like shrimp salad.
No.
A lot. It's
Never
got to
had
be
it.
made. It's got like at a good restaurant. Shrimp
No.
salad can be divine.
That's right.
not more than tuna?
That is accurate. Your opinion is right.
So tuna, potato, egg, macaroni, and chicken. But now tuna's been removed. It's now shrimp salad, potato, egg, macaroni, and chicken.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody texted in and said,
happening here?
"Why is no one saying cucumber salad?"
Oh, yeah, that's
Cucumber salad's really good.
good.
Because our genitals are intact.
I used to make that all the time. I forgot about that.
And that has no mayo. That's like an oil thing with you put a little
okay.
sugar in there, make it sweet.
All right. For a summer salad, if you're going to have for a meal,
Summer salad.
a pasta salad
Yeah.
is the
Yes.
way to go.
Is that the
And
one that's
it's
got like?
massively versatile? You can have all different types of pasta. You can put chicken in it. You can put tuna in it,
especially if it's nice and cold.
Yeah,
I like that.
So you keep saying barbecue in summer. Like the thought of a mayo-based something at a
Sitting out
barbecue
on a
makes
table?
me nauseous.
Right.
Don't you though? Isn't a macaroni and potato salad a standard at a picnic?
Oh
Yeah. No, you're
potato
right.
salad
it
is
is
like the go-to.
I will leave the macaroni salad on the table every time.
Okay.
Every single time.
On the poker table.
Yeah, but you when you brought in
I'm going
pasta
all in.
salad, I'm all about pasta salad. I like those little swirly, whatever those things are called, pastas.
They're actually
they look like
swirly.
they look like springs.
Rotini, Marissa, is that what it was? Rotini, I think.
They look like springs.
I know what you're talking about.
Her pasta.
Yeah. Now, do you know why those are best for pasta salad? Those actual pasta, the shapes are specific for certain dishes, and why they're done well is because that particular shape will hold all the herbs and things that you mix in there.
In the little
it traps that
swirlies.
stuff. It'll the swirlies capture that.
But of my top 5, the funny thing here is only one of my top 5 do I prefer a store-bought version over a homemade version.
Okay.
And so that was my number 5. And Preston, if potato is your number 1, you have to try the potato salad from Sleepy Hollow Deli on Springfield Road.
As for Ichabod Crane.
It is the best potato salad out
Twist
there.
my arm.
I will.
Go ahead.
I will bring it in for you
I'm
tomorrow.
all in. I would do. I just thought of something.
What?
We've done like a chili cook-off. I'd do a potato salad judging contest any day of the week.
I want to
unless call in sick that day.
Unless I know it's from Sleepy Hollow.
All right, thank you very much, Marissa. I have to share with you guys that I've been very busy lately.
What?
I've been doing a lot of noticing.
Oh, Christ. The noticer's back, and he's been noticing like a mother effer.
Yeah, I have
You
been.
can't believe what he's noticed.
Well, listen.
Things you thought you noticed. You didn't notice. He noticed it before you.
Your noticing has been noted. Thank you.
Noted.
Listen, I want to see if you guys are familiar with it. It was yesterday, and I noticed it yesterday, but I wanted to bring it to your attention today. But July 1st, yesterday, was Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah.
So you guys are familiar with this?
Oh, yeah.
Vaguely.
For another 5 years, it'll be Bobby Bonilla Day on July 1st.
Longer than that, Casey. I think.
Was it 2031 or 2030?
I think it is 20. Where do I have this? Anyway, let me dive into this. So, Bobby Bonilla Day. Every year on that date, the New York Mets pay former third baseman Bobby Bonilla $1.19 million, even though he hasn't played for the team since 1999. It goes through. Nick, when does it go through?
2035 when he turns
2035.
When he turns 72 years old.
Yes.
Wow.
So he hasn't played with the team since 1999. The annual payment continues, like Nick said, until 2035, until he turns 72. It may sound strange, but it's all part of a deal that was signed back in 2000 when the Mets agreed to delay paying him $5.9 million. Instead, they transformed it into a long-term annual payment with installments and interest stretching over 25 years. Now, the question is, why did they agree to do this? Do you guys know the story behind this?
That I don't know.
Essentially a deferred contract.
Yeah, but do you know why they agreed to do this?
I forget the origins.
So the reason behind it involves a financial gamble by the Mets ownership. In 2000, the Mets heavily invested into a Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme.
There you go, man. I didn't realize he went to the Bernie Madoff stuff.
And it promised
and that worked out well.
to yield high returns. How, in hindsight, how did that guy con everybody?
Well, what happened is that he had the good fortune of bringing in initially high-profile people that other high-profile people looked at and said, oh, well, there you go. And then they signed on. But there are a multitude of great documentaries, but I think it was the one that HBO did that explained all the machinations of what he did. And it's just staggering.
And why?
And how could you conduct your life knowing that the clock is ticking on you being discovered?
I think part of the deal, and Steve, correct me if I'm wrong in some of the documentaries, but like the mark of a good con man is that the con worked for some people, right? Like the investments were actually decent investments some of the time. It's just eventually a pyramid scheme is going to collapse upon itself. And so there was no real basis for any of it. but there was enough of a fake basis that he was able to pay off some of those people some returns in the short term.
So, and why would the Mets agree? They owed him $5.9 million. Why would they do $1.1 million, almost $1.2 million for 25 years every year? That's exponentially more money.
It's that same kind of business savvy that had them signing up with Bernie Madoff. The way that works out, by the way, Nick, is that you have your initial investors, and the new investors actually pay the dividends for your first investment.
Yes, exactly.
And so everything keeps getting a la a pyramid stacked on top of each other.
To me, it seems like they were pretty confident that they were going to be making money too. So they were like, okay, we can shave off $25 million because we're going to make hundreds of millions. It's kind of like some players now are accepting their contracts in Bitcoin because they anticipate Bitcoin being worth more.
But, you guys know about the Shohei contract, right?
Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani on the Dodgers. So he signed a bajillion-dollar contract, right? And it's worth so much money because he's one of the most talented and incredible players. He's generational, right? But the way that the Dodgers decided to pay it is not very much up front. And he agreed to that so that the Dodgers could sign other really talented players, high-priced free agents, and bring in and make it a really good, expensive team, and then defer some of his payment until after his career ends.
Yeah, so and if they get a winning team, there's bonuses that come along with that. If they win the World Series or make it into the playoffs, so it makes business sense for him.
Preston, initially the Mets, once they realized this had all gone down, they tried to recoup their loss with $100,000 dog night.
Wow.
And it did not work.
By the way,
$100,000 for a hot dog.
It just people,
stupid.
They really didn't plan that right.
Even after Bobby Bonilla dies, the family will receive his beneficiaries will continue to get that money until 2035. It is being paid out no matter what to whomever is still alive.
It is funny to think, though, that you would think that the financial people behind the Mets would have, at least a flag here and there would have been raised.
And by the way, he's not the only one. Brett Saberhagen gets $250,000 annually until 2028. Other players like Max Scherzer, Manny Ramirez, and Chris Davis also have deferred contracts, receiving millions after they've retired.
Listen, they've been in a bit of a slump. Why don't they bring these guys back on the field? Right? Just take a crack at it.
I mean, Scherzer's still in the bigs, and I didn't know his contract was that way.
I had no idea about the Madoff portion of that they got duped as well. Kevin Bacon was one of the guys.
And
he and Kira Cedric lost a ton of money.
Virtually everything. Yeah.
It was crazy. So anyhow, Bobby Bonilla Day yesterday. I'm not that deep into the world of the behind-the-scenes sports stuff, so I was not familiar with that. I'm sure it's old story to you guys.
I was just a fan of $100,000 dog night.
All right, here's another thing that I noticed and wanted to pass along to you. The Consumer Insight Research at J.D. Power and Associates run an annual, what they call initial quality survey on new car buyers. And it yields a comparative list of how satisfied people are with new cars from all over, major markets, major brands. And it also exposes features and trends that buyers like and don't. And this year, one of the biggest jumps in car owner complaints was about one very particular thing, and it doesn't have to do with the performance of a car.
Car owner complaint. Let's see if we can guess this. And it doesn't have to do with the performance of the car.
I know.
I have a guess.
Okay, please.
Brightness of a display in the console?
That's an interesting one.
It's funny, Nick, because my son called me yesterday because it was too bright in the car and he didn't know how to turn it down.
And which car was he driving?
He was in. I think he was in. Hang on a second. He was in the Outback.
Sometimes that thing's tricky to find.
It is. And I have two Subarus. I have an Outback and a Forester. And the Outback's a little bit older than the Forester is. The Outback's display is much bigger and much brighter, and I'm wondering if Subaru receives some complaints because the Forester, which is newer, is a smaller display and a less bright display.
Doesn't the display adjust automatically
Not automatically.
Well, sometimes, yeah. So we had an issue in our vehicle as well, the one of our vans, and that it was just too bright and we couldn't. It adjusts automatically, but it was still too bright.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I can't see anything.
I'm going blind.
We eventually figured it out, but it's not that.
Okay.
It is something else. It is the cup holders.
Okay.
So
all right, I see this now. And with your Stanley Cups and stuff like that. For the first time, and so I drive an Audi, and the they got it right with this one, but they're always wonky, and they're always not quite right, and they're always not deep enough, and they're always there's a whole series of issues. So I can see that.
So the press release says, while it seemed like manufacturers had cup holders figured out, given that owners are now bringing more reusable containers into their vehicles,
yes,
manufacturers are struggling to keep up with being able to accommodate all the different shapes and sizes that are increasingly available.
And there's no place to put your crock pot.
No. So I have this Nalgene, I think it's Nalgene, bottle that I take to the gym with me every day. And it's too big for every cup holder. The only way it'll fit into my cup holder is if I turn it upside down in order.
That's just crazy.
That's crazy talk, man. Yeah, but it's better than this bottle rattling around the floorboards.
Consequently, owners are again citing more problems in this area with the expectations that their vehicle should be able to hold different sizes of containers.
So, do you have some cars come with there's one cup holder, has a little heating pad underneath it.
No, I don't have that.
I never had that. But I'm like, wow, what's that like?
That's a good idea.
How soon before that breaks?
Yeah, no, that's a good idea, though.
Hey, Nick, you're in a touring trim of your Outback. Do you have air conditioned seats?
Yeah,
dude. Okay, so I'm in a 2025 Outback right now from Rafferty Subaru. And this car, it's the touring model, and it's got air conditioning.
It's the best.
It is.
It should be along with heat. Because listen, I got tired of spatuling my ass off the hot seat.
Yeah,
it's definitely a first world luxury.
Oh,
and it's ridiculous, but I don't really drive the Outback anymore. I mostly drive the Forester. My wife drives the Outback.
So she's got the cool ass.
The Forester does. She has a great ass.
She does.
The Forester. No, it's fine. She's a great ass. She's not listening. But her friends are. Anyway, Forester. No heated. No cooling seats. Only heated seats.
It's not the touring version.
No, whatever version I got or whatever. And so the Outback has it, and when I drive it every day, especially this time of year, I miss it.
Yeah. So not only does this Outback that I'm driving have cooled seats, but also, like, I went to, like, grab the front of the seat. I was like, wait, what is this little thing? And it basically is a recliner. This little thing pulls
for your
out.
nuts.
This little tray kind of, like, pulls out and extends the seat.
Yes.
And
I have that.
Yeah, I have it as well.
I've had the past couple cars I've had that. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow. Do you have a cup holder for your steering wheel? It turns out that doesn't work well.
There was a brand of car that I owned and I really loved. And the reason I did not buy another one was because of the rear camera was not very clear.
Yeah.
It was kind of at night you couldn't see very well. And I went back after I owned I owned a car for about 5 years or so. I tried to put 100,000 miles on before I started looking for another one. And then I said, did they change the rear camera? And the guy goes, no. And I'm like,
what?
I'm not buying
the
car.
Dude, you know, when we were learning how to drive, the rule, it was in stone. Turn around, look, the elaborate process. If I was an owl, I couldn't be as comprehensive as my backup camera is. I mean, I look at, you're not supposed to, but I rely on that more.
Listen, I told myself, I'm like, dumbass, just put your arm up around on the seat and turn around and look and see where you need to go. You've been doing that, for ages. No,
I'll tell you why.
The camera now.
The camera gets below your line of sight.
It also is slightly fisheye.
It's fisheye.
Yeah. So yesterday, my youngest got her learner's permit.
Very cool.
And so I took her out for her first drive, and I told her everything. I'm like, okay, so here's your backup camera. You use the mirrors, the side view and the rear view. And she's like, okay. And so she puts in reverse. The backup camera comes on, and she needs to back away from the car in front of her. And I'm looking at her. I go, what are you looking at? And she was looking out the windshield. I was like, you're not looking at it. Like, you have 3 mirrors and a backup camera, and you're still looking forward. Oh, my God.
She'll learn.
She'll
figure it out.
God help me.
Let her get a few accidents under her belt. She'll be fine. Yeah.
But it is, it's definitely first world problems, Nick. But,
it's funny. I don't really like the cameras. And everything you guys are saying is 100% accurate. And you're probably right. I'm probably wrong. And maybe I'm just being antiquated. But something about it is a little jarring to me, looking at a video display rather than a mirror, because the video display is just one step removed from reality, and the mirror is reality. But Steve, like your point about the fisheye, absolutely, that makes perfect sense. I don't like it that much.
Do you know what they're doing? They're replacing, so this will start to happen. They're going to work this in. Your side views will become TV screen.
Oh, I don't like
same
that.
thing with the rear view mirror.
I don't know if I like that either.
I don't care for
but
that.
Case, you should, as you're teaching Avery, you should on a few occasions cover that up. And
Just
have
so uses her mirrors.
Just to use her mirrors or turns her head around. And look back just in case. That camera might go out sometime. And if she's never done it before, that's going to be a bit jarring.
When you taught your kids, did you ever do the blindfold method while they were driving?
Yeah, let's drive to the Wawa with you wearing a blindfold the entire time.
Smell only.
Brush your cold.
Yeah, you can do it. Come on.
How are we doing, Dad?
Yeah. Well, you use the force. That's what you do. I mean, with the blast shield down, you gotta use the
Time
force.
to go to Wawa.
Yeah. But J.D. Powers, senior director, said when looking at the top 10 problems for the industry, cup holders difficult to use went from being 7th most problematic issue for the vehicle to 3rd most reported this year. And this is overall. This is overall car brands. Generally, just new car owners. But the cup.
Why is it so elusive to car manufacturers to figure out how to nail the cup holder?
I just think it's the fact that there are so many different types of cups that you can, the reusables.
I got it.
Yeah.
A big well that you can just put a straw in, fill it up with the liquid, right?
Yeah.
You're not, right? You don't have to.
Yeah,
you just
that works.
pour it into your big well and you have a straw.
Mine has these little doohickeys, for lack of, it's an industry term, that stick out
Yes,
and it will size it properly and it works fine for me. But if you got a really giant one or one that's too small, I guess that might be an issue. But cup holders has never really been a complaint for me personally. I can't think of a car. But for some people, it might literally be a deal breaker. And I would imagine if you're shopping for a new car, do you bring your favorite mug or whatever?
Yeah.
You should bring
if you're
it
going to
with
drop
you
money.
and try it out and see if it works or not.
So I have the doohickeys as well, and it does make a difference.
Yeah.
It does help. Sometimes the doohickeys are so clamped on that I have to gingerly move the cup out if it's a paper cup, you know?
Yeah.
But yes, that is a big innovation.
So, Casey, you were at the DMV yesterday with Avery, and we're getting a bunch of texts from people who are saying that in their instructions and in the driver's test that they had to use the cameras, that they were asked, not only asked, but like you need to know how to do it in order to pass the test properly.
So, Nick, you're saying that are they suggesting that you now forego because Preston described it. You put your arm back over the seat, you look back,
you turn
you
your
look
head
both
over.
ways,
Yep.
and that's how that was the only way you could pass the driving test.
Yeah, a bunch
Are
of
you
texts.
saying now you have to use the cameras to pass?
You have to use the camera, and even in the school car where they're learning how to do it, some people are texting and saying that they use the cameras there, and the instructors were teaching them how to do it that way.
I would think that they would want them to do it
Me
both
too.
ways.
Yeah.
On the chance that the technology fails and you can't use it, So
Do they still blindfold you during your driving test?
Only at a Wawa.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, anyhow, surprising, but that is apparently fairly universal.
Notice that.
Yep. I'm going to notice something else too. Never heard of this before. Now we're aware of prenuptial agreements. They're increasingly common. Recent Harris poll found that 15% of Americans who are married are engaged report having signed one. Post-nuptial agreements are not as common. But now, the once considered rare legal agreement signed by couples after tying the knot is finding its way into marriages outside of the ultra-wealthy.
It says here you want custody of the Batman figures?
A post-nup can amend a prenup signed before the marriage for reasons such as a new business, a financial windfall, significant new debt or inheritance, or planning for children from the first or second marriage. And it can also address issues of infidelity.
So what I would assume that a prenup would be a tough negotiation. A post-nup, I think, is going to be exponentially that more difficult.
Exactly. Yeah. So a prenup can be delicate conversation in itself. A post-nup can be an even more delicate, out-of-the-blue conversation to have, according to this article. Now, Sandra Douglas, who's a family law attorney, said you don't want to be like, okay, I talked to a divorce attorney, and here is what we need to talk about. That is off-putting, and I would not suggest that. She said, I always suggest doing it in a relaxed environment when tensions are not high. Maybe it's going to dinner. Try to create an environment where it is not confrontational. Sometimes we even role play and go over the best tone.
So there's a legal firm that deals with all this, Preston, called What's Nup. And
What's Nup?
Yeah, and you're talking about this. Is there a percentage? Do you give a percentage of people now that they assume or can estimate have dealt with post-nups?
No, it doesn't. So 15% of Americans do the prenup, so much smaller amount would be a post-nup. So they in this article, it says, when infidelity sours a marriage, many couples would prefer to salvage their relationship. And the attorney, Douglas, says a postnuptial can set ground rules that may help save the marriage. They said it may be a long-term marriage. They don't want to, as the saying goes, throw the baby out with the bathwater. They just don't want to jump to being ready to get a divorce.
Right.
They said post-nups are a great option because we can create a boundary and then move forward. It doesn't really give any examples of what that would include.
So what I'm assuming this probably pertains more to financial, as you said, financial windfalls or things of that nature, or perhaps, you're the one party's parent has died and left money. Yep. But I mean, my assumption, maybe I'm just a cockeyed optimist, that all that comes into the marriage. That's both parties.
I agree, but there are some people, and I've been surprised, who are married, and it's still my money, your money.
Yeah, I don't
not
get
our
that.
money.
I've seen that. I've seen that break up a number of marriages, even though they think they have it nailed.
Yeah.
Well, I have mine, and eventually it starts to grate on one party.
Yeah,
it's like, really?
Like the second Shell and I were together, and even before we were married, it's like, okay, this is all a big community chest here. This
Just
is
don't
all,
touch my drum kit.
Yep.
No, we did that like
Did you touch my drum?
Did you put your vagina on my drum kit?
The second we got engaged is when we joined our financial forces.
Yeah. It's probably when we did it too. I don't know anything about the
I mean, I don't know anything about anything, but
Tony, what do we use to pay our bills?
I'm guessing.
The money that you bring. That?
So it says a dramatic change in wealth, a potential future income for one spouse, such as
pieces of this green paper in my wallet. What is that?
As a business venture that is taken off, or an unexpected large inheritance are also common reasons for post-nuptial agreements. They said it's similar to a partnership agreement in the business. How are we going to operate this marriage? What is our roadmap moving forward? Or it could be a situation where you have a spender and a saver. And a lot of times in marriage, that is just the natural order of things. So it may be a roadmap on how you are going to save. I've never heard of a post-nuptial agreement before.
Yeah, I bet you that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right, I noticed another thing.
Another thing noticed.
Yeah.
Last thing.
All right, this is perfect. So New York City's public pools turned into toilets at a surprisingly high rate last summer.
I just always assume that.
The Parks Department was forced to close its swimming holes 203 times to clean up visitors' poop in the pools.
Stop it, really?
Yep. Data obtained through a Freedom of Information request reveals the sheer scale of the defecation in the city's cherished bathing areas. The incidents limited access to swimming across the city, which has already been strained for years by an ongoing lifeguard shortage. And now, as pools are open for the summer, experts warn New Yorkers should be extra mindful to control their bowels while at a pool to avoid a catastrophe.
For years, what have I always said about public pools?
Yeah.
It's just a human stew. So this only proves it.
As a lifeguard, I think there was only one time where there was poop in the pool.
A little dookie situation?
Yeah, in the big pool.
A Caddyshack situation?
The baby pool is, I think, a different story. But the big pool, I think one time, and we had to clear the whole thing out. And
people are treating pools. You had the story, Preston. We should watch the footage of the guy with bar soap cleaning himself in a public pool like it was a bathtub.
Records show 44 of the city's 52 public pools had to close at least once last summer due to dookie. New Yorkers lost a combined 600 hours of swimming as a result of the incidents. Now, on a single day in August, 12 pools were browned out. And here's what I found interesting. The Parks Department defines a situation where a solid or formed stool is released into the water as a level 1 incident. More serious level 2 alerts are reserved for liquid feces.
Oh, my God!
So we got a level 2 here.
Nick,
Liquid feces.
You were thinking about joining the pool this year. Did you end up doing that or no?
And you know why? Because it was so damn expensive.
Yeah. I don't even know how much it costs. Is it like $1,000 now?
No, it's
more,
like $3,000 for a year. Yeah. And there's a deposit, Casey, and there's a waiting list. They're really popular. I don't have a pool.
And you got to provide a fecal sample.
You do, and then there's number 1 and number 2, Steve.
Do you want the piss pool or the poop pool?
I think I probably shared this story with you guys, but we were in Vegas one time. It was a big group birthday party excursion, and they had to close the pool because of people had been partying all night or throwing up into the pool. And it was just like,
God.
Steve, like, I don't think I'm as hesitant as you are, and I understand your hesitation. I think I'm just like, nah, whatever. I'll survive.
Yeah.
And if it's a hot day, I just want to jump in the pool no matter what. But man, like they had to clear everybody out. It took, I don't know, an hour and a half for them to clean it. It's
Nick,
just.
I'm concerned that the fish are pooping in the ocean when I go to the beach.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
So pools were closed more often for level 1 cleanups, with 184 such incidents reported. There were 19 incidents of liquid stools versus 184. So that's, very few little diarrhea moments.
Given my druthers, I'm going to take a nice intact floater over diarrhea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, without question. A Parks Department spokesperson said that it's against rules to urinate or defecate in city-owned pools, and noted that babies and toddlers are required to wear swim diapers, by the way. Which, as you said before, is a tea bag, Steve.
Exactly. It's human tea bag. Is it still okay to hold your junk over the water exchange?
Oh, the jet?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you're not allowed to do that. Okay. You're allowed to do that?
Well, as long as you're not exposed.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
I've seen Chuck do it in Jamaica. Remember that? Like,
yes.
He said pool jet on my balls.
Hey, I have a new girlfriend.
Yeah, we were sitting there having a deep discussion. We were actually having fun, and then we started talking about somebody and their alcoholism and what a problem was it. And Chuck just turns to me and goes, I got a pool jet on my balls right now. Like, okay, way to steer it back.
All right, so there's a website that Steve Wilson just told me about called Swimply.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
Where people rent out their pools.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, all right, well, listen, we do need to wrap it up. That's all I had time to notice because we have to go on Fox 29 this morning. Check in with Mike and Alex. So we'll take a break right now, and we'll also share some bizarre foul stories with you in return. So we'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us, friends.
Preston and Steve.
Potato salad?
Yeah.
It's like that's the only potato salad you'll have?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I've never, and people are like, oh, my mom's is the best. No.
Your mom's a slut.
She's a total whore. She's a total whore. Yes.
Filthy whore.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, your mom, you mean the filthy whore?
Yeah.
I don't want her salad.
But yeah, so I got potato 5, pasta is 4, because that actually has like cheese and like pepperonis and stuff in it, right?
And well, you can make
Yeah.
it any. I like it with the little bits of cheese and stuff like that. It is so versatile.
Yeah.
And such a perfect summer meal.
All right. Jen has a pasta salad recipe that the entire world needs to know, she says.
All right, Jen.
All right, Jen. The world's ears are yours.
It's not a potato salad. Hi, Casey. It's me. Yeah.
Oh, hey, Jen. We went to college together.
Okay.
She's
Yeah.
big breasts.
I'm Alexa. So first of all,
Hang on,
Kathy,
Jen. Do you have big breasts? Because Casey just said you do.
Did I have big boobs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. He just wanted to point that out.
It overrided
Okay.
your salad that was going to redefine salads.
First
Okay.
of all, now that you said no macaroni, I don't know if Casey's going to like it. It's going to gross Kathy out for sure.
Oh, okay.
But there is a good potato salad. There's a good macaroni salad with just peppers and vinegar and no mayo that you would like. But this is, I get Amish macaroni salad from the Acme.
No
which I
zippers.
love. And then I go to the Ardmore Farmers Market and I get fresh cooked lobster meat, crab meat, and shrimp, and cut that up.
Yeah.
And I mix that together. So it's a little bit of a cheat, but it's
Yeah, it is a
delicious.
cheat. So you take a store-bought pasta salad, and then you're adding seafood to it.
That's not a recipe.
Yeah.
That is a recipe.
underwhelmed.
It's a recipe.
So it's not the best recipe in the world.
Well, listen, it sounds very inventive. I don't like 3 of the 4 ingredients, but otherwise, it sounds like a home run.
my boobs are still big.
Okay, Casey's very happy about that.
Wait, well, time out. What about this, Kathy? You might like this with the swirly, squiggly pasta, and just red pepper, yellow pepper, green pepper.
Possum meat.
Onions if you like it, if you don't. And then I use malt vinegar with balsamic vinegar.
Ooh.
And I mix that up. And sometimes some basil, like whatever I have in my garden. And I put that, not mayonnaise based. And it's kind of refreshing.
No oil in it, Jen?
No oil.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. Just vinegar.
Interesting.
Jen, do you have a kitchen or a laboratory? What's going on over there?
It's both. I like
Okay.
to get started.
All right. Well, that's very cool.
All right. Thank you, Jen.
See you later.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Fred wants to defend a kind of potato salad you might actually like, Kathy. I'll go to Fred. Good
Okay.
morning, Fred.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
How about homemade? Have you ever had homemade German-style potato salad? It's vinegar. Absolutely no mayo.
No mayo.
You know what? Yes, actually, I think I have had that, and I do like it.
It's got bacon bits in it.
You like
And
bacon.
You like
bacon
bacon?
Yep.
All right.
There you go. I'm German, so my grandma used to make it.
Excellent.
Is
All
your
right.
grandmom German?
Thank you, Fred. I knew somebody who made an Italian potato salad with oil and vinegar and a little bit of parsley in it, and that was pretty tasty.
You know,
too.
I don't know if this is different or not, but the woman who made that potato salad that I had was Greek, so I don't know if there's a Greek potato salad or if they're sort of making it like he said, like the Germans do, but it was that vinegar based.
I just forgot something that I really do love as well, and that's salad, but quinoa salad.
Ooh, yeah.
Quinoa salad, and specifically
I'm over quinoa.
the Landing,
Yeah.
which is Nick Elmy's, has the best quinoa salad I've ever had in my life.
So I made what I thought last year was a out of this world fruit salad. There was a guy at the shore who I met who they have these guys who drive around this truck. It's called Fresh Fruit.
Right.
And they pull up and they get out of the truck and they ring the bell. Ding, 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 ding. And they stop there and they go, Fresh! This really long fresh fruit scream. Well, I got this guy, Bernie, was his name, and he brought a bunch of fresh fruit over for me. It was really, really nice. It's kind of a welcome to the neighborhood type of thing. And it was, like pineapple and mango, and I had some bananas and, a lot of great fruit. So anyhow.
And was it indeed fresh?
Yeah, it was perfect condition, ready to cut and go. It was all ripe and ready. So I cut it up and I threw it in, and I kind of slapped together this fruit salad. So rather than just the fruit being together, I added honey to it. And most important ingredient,
mayo?
Squeeze some fresh lemon on it.
Oh, all right.
Really? Gives it even a little bit more tang.
Yeah.
And then I put in some walnuts in there. And it was the best fruit salad I've ever had. Thank you very much. Pat myself on the back. I was really happy about
Does
that.
that sound something like you would enjoy?
Yeah, well, when they said fruit salad, I was like, well, hello. Over
Yeah,
here, obviously, that would be my number
Does fruit
one.
salad make you toot?
When Kathy would come in with this giant bowl of fruit salad, I haven't seen it in a while, and that would be your lunch. Did Bubba add anything to that besides just fruit?
No, but no.
Squeeze some lemon on it.
But
and
you know what?
It adds such a cool little zing to it.
I'll tell you what, though. I don't know. I mean, technically, yes, I guess that is fruit salad. But what I have to say is, if it sits for a little while and the juices from the different fruits mixed together, I'm out. It has to be fresh cut fruit.
Why are you even putting them in the same container then?
I don't know. Well, because what am I going to do? Bring different containers?
Yes, you would.
But it's fine if it's fresh. You're usually good, but if it sits for a little while, you get that because then they all start to taste the same.
They mix together. It's like a cocktail.
Let me get this straight. Are we
juicy.
accepting fruit salads into this conversation?
we should.
started
I think we
as savory.
should. Yeah.
Well, then I have to rethink my
I know. Me too. I got to rethink the whole damn list. Our
An
eyes
epic
are opening
disgrace.
up. All right, hang on. Jessica, and I agree with her on this if she's talking about potato salad. Hey, Jessica, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So, Jessica, you wanted to add a secret ingredient?
Yes, pickle juice.
Pickle juice.
To potato salad?
And potato salad.
Yes, me too. That's a big part of what makes my mom potato salad awesome is we add that pickle juice to it. Yes.
Yes, you can't add as much mayo because it'll make it too runny, but
Yes.
it is amazing.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
I do like...
Thank you, Jessica.
I like all riffs on potato. I do not like baked potatoes. I do not like potato salad. However, I like...
You like mashed potatoes?
Like red potatoes,
And sweet potato fries. You
like
love.
sweet potato fries.
roasted potatoes.
Roasted potatoes.
Do you like mashed potatoes?
I do.
Okay.
I do. So my
baked potato, no. Okay.
No. So Southern style. However, I like steak fries, which are very almost...
That's probably why you don't like potatoes.
Yeah.
I don't like baked potatoes either.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I like potatoes. But just to wrap up that part of the conversation, somebody texted this in, and I was introduced to this 2 or 3 years ago, a watermelon salad with tomatoes and feta cheese. And the watermelon is this sweetness, and then you add a little bit of saltiness of the tomato, and then cheese makes everything better. So that salad is fantastic.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
It's really
I'm
good.
open to trying it.
Yeah.
But you're still skeptical.
I thought of another ingredient for fruit salad too. Is add a little mint, a little fresh cut mint in there.
Yeah,
and that kind of brings it home. Okay. Somebody, a couple of people had texted in. We had a caller. They're not up there any longer. But I want to get so if you're just tuning in, it's Salad Chat on the Preston and Steve Show. Stupid conversation. Best salad ever. Does taco salad even count?
No, because
you're taking
like a salad.
You're taking
more,
it. No.
Yeah, that's more of like a casserole or a dip.
Oh no, I was thinking taco salad is a salad.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of like a taco dip.
Yeah.
No, a taco salad. Yeah, that's lettuce. There's lettuce in there. We're staying away from the lettuce-based salad thing.
Because
we're
it's
thinking
too
more
easy.
Potato salad and pasta salad, macaroni salad.
It's too easy.
All right, I'm just sort of thinking out loud here, but
my butt hurts.
What if? My butt feels fine.
Okay.
What if you were to make potato salad with hash browns?
Cooked hash browns?
Well,
like fried?
You cook them first, so you know that they're like all cooked through and everything like that, and then you make it, and then you have to put it because you have to when you're making potato salad, you got to cook the potatoes anyway. So
yeah, you boil them.
You boil them, mash them. Maybe you stick them in a stew press. I don't know, but do you wait for when you make a potato salad? Do you wait for them to cool off before you mix it all together?
Ideally, yes, but sometimes.
So what if
you have a big issue if they were still in a mashable condition?
Yeah. So what if you were to do that with hash browns?
You don't cook them to the extent if they get too soft, then it's going to fall apart. What's that?
What if you were to do that with hash browns instead of cut up and diced up potatoes?
My head hurts.
I don't like it.
Okay.
But maybe should try it.
I'm going to try it.
Talking about AI and this in one day is just...
Nick, can you look up hash brown salad?
Yeah.
And see if anything comes up?
Yeah.
Somebody has probably
Go to
tried that
X-Hamster.
before. Yeah, right.
All right. Go there and then...
Yo, ever heard of jerk meat?
Pops up every time. Damn it.
Come on. All right, hash brown salad restaurant. Hash brown potato salad. Yeah, Case.
All right.
Did you remember Salad Works? Do you remember there was
the original salad tossers.
That was their slogan.
Yep.
And we're not kidding.
Was.
Yeah.
We'd eat there a lot when we were at Y100. They had one right in the mall.
Because they'd toss your salad for you.
Absolutely, right there.
Right there in the mall.
Drop trout, let's go.
Right there.
I'm going to go to Rob.
Got a tongue like a cat.
Hey, Rob, good morning.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, what's up, buddy?
Hey, have you guys ever tried summer corn salad?
No, but go on.
I don't know. Go ahead.
So you obviously have it's better with fresh corn, especially from the summer, Jersey corn, and you mix up with cubed mozzarella, fresh basil, lemon juice, garlic, and fresh pieces of garlic and cherry tomatoes.
Ooh.
It is a really good salad. And you serve it cold. Put it in the fridge. Make it the day before.
What do you do? Do you boil the corn ahead of time and then cut it off?
You make your corn like you're basically boiling, but it's better to cut right from the cob.
Yeah.
The cob.
Yeah. Okay. I dig it. All right, Rob Petty on 93.3 WNMR. It's everything that rocks won't back down. We got about 10 seconds before we go live on Fox Good Day this morning. Chat with Mike and Alex. So we'll listen for a little bit of music. And there it is. TV time, people. Here we go.
Why you trying to keep me teeny now? Now they need me. Number one,
I wrote this song.
Okay, President Steve, here's the question of the day. If you could be a CEO of any company, which would it be? We saw this survey that said most people said they'd like to work for Google, be in charge of Google. Not sure why. I guess that would make them rich, Preston?
Yeah. I got to go with Total Wine down in Delaware. I think probably is my type of thing, and I would build one closer to my house out in Harleysville, Pennsylvania. Yes. Have you ever been there, by the way, Mike?
Door.
No.
No. Is it huge?
Oh, my God. It is, yes. Think Costco, but all booze. And that's
wow.
it. Yeah.
It says a lot.
Oh, so they sell more than wine.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
can
It's not just wine. It's everything you're looking for. Yeah. most definitely. In fact, you're gonna find what you love and love what you find. Is what I've heard.
He's already got the slogan going.
That's right.
Steve, what would you be?
So I wouldn't want to be the CEO of something that I love because I would screw it up, like Apple or something that I really enjoy. So what I would do is I would go with Mars Wrigley. They make gum. You're not going to screw up gum. And then you just sit back and collect your big fat check in your CEO office. There's no innovation. You just chew it. So there's nothing to screw up. That would be my plan.
You want something on autopilot. I love that. That's a great idea.
I don't know how, with all heads turned to you at the conference, what are we doing, boss? It's gum.
Yeah.
Chew it.
It's gum. Like the Wrigley family.
Exactly.
They made gum, and they're filthy rich.
Filthy rich.
Off gum.
What about you guys? Is there anything you've considered?
Pornhub.
Pornhub. Yeah. Because you get free samples.
Well, sure. I'd have to go to all the shoots, you know, and
you'd have extreme carpal tunnel, but eventually,
I still have my left hand. Anyway,
the stranger.
It would probably be more work right now considering everything that's going on, but it might be worth it for the perks. I want to be CEO of an airline so I can fly anywhere, you know?
Now you're thinking.
You're thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that
See,
idea.
that's an intelligent answer.
Right.
Yeah, well, like I said, there's a lot going on with planes and airports.
If that goes south, I'll see if I can get you into the gum world.
Yeah.
All right.
What about Casey?
All right. Well, so I wouldn't be CEO because there is no CEO of the NFL, but I would be the NFL commissioner. I would do it for half of the price tag of Roger Goodell.
Wow.
And I also am a fan first, so I think the NFL is run very, very well, but they don't think of the fan, I think, as much as they should, and I would like to maybe lower prices for fans and heighten the experience.
Lower prices.
Well, that's a thoughtful answer.
Yeah.
And then all the jocks you can say.
Yes.
You're never going to be. If you're lowering prices, you're never going to be hired. No,
There's your downfall.
Well, there's that.
No. Is Nick there today?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I would choose probably like an outdoor outfitter, like a North Face or an REI or something along those lines. I love to hike. I like being outside. So, all the fleeces you can handle, Mike, if you get to do something like that. That's what I would choose.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
These are all great positions.
My gum choice is looking dumber by the second.
No.
Yeah.
You want to cruise. I get that.
Yeah. Thank you, Alex.
The boss of a gum company. Oh,
Like, who would have thought of that?
chew it.
Great.
Only Steve.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great 4th.
All right, you guys too. Take care.
guys.
We will see you soon. All right. We need to get a look at traffic. We skipped out on that at the top, so let's dive into that world with Marissa McNutt. Marissa, what's going on this morning?
295 southbound is slowing between Warwick Road and Haddonfield Berlin Road. It is jammed up there. Also on the northbound side from Pickertown Road to Center Square. Staying in New Jersey, Route 73, both directions at Fleming Pike. There's police directing traffic around a malfunctioning traffic light. Then on the Blue Route, northbound we're slowing from McDade to the Media Bypass. Platte Bridge eastbound is slowing from the Midspan to Penrose. 76 eastbound from the Boulevard out to South Street. Westbound from Boulevard out to Gladwin. 95 southbound we're slowing from the Betsy Ross Bridge to Allegheny. Actually back to Cottman for that road construction. And 322 in both directions at Cherry Tree Road. The traffic report is brought to you by the International Hot Rod Association. Nitro's back. The IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series is lighting up the track. Nitro Nation, grab your tickets now at IHRA.com. That's IHRA.com, and that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
I need to point out, the reason that Marissa doesn't get asked questions from Fox 29 is she's actually in another room,
She
and
is.
we have no camera.
Yeah, I know.
We need to get a little camera that shines down.
I've
on
loved
Marissa
that
back
idea,
there.
yeah.
But then again, that would cost something that's called money.
Oh, wait. Can't do that.
So I don't know if we
No.
can do that or not.
It took us how many months to get phones?
Maybe if Steve makes money with gum.
Yeah.
That could
Then we can
be
do
a
it
motivation
finally.
to get
That
you
might require some innovation.
the gum world.
Cash in that gum money.
All right, let's do the B file.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Horizon Services. Suffering from leaks, clogs, or corrosion in your plumbing system? Well, the expert technicians at Horizon Services have seen it all. They can fix it all with same-day service. Book today with Horizon Services, and help is on the way. Wow, a wild story. A California teen who was placed in a coma after he hallucinated and walked off a cliff while hiking, is breathing on his own now, and according to his family. On Thursday, the father of 14-year-old Zane Watch had shared an update on the teen's health following an incident 2 weeks ago in which Zane began experiencing hallucinations due to what they believe is altitude sickness. Zane's father, Ryan Watch, wrote on Facebook that Zane reached his first giant milestone since being placed in a medically induced coma. He said that he's taken off of the ventilator. So it was a giant milestone in hopes that the door, it may open the door to many new steps forward. He said the hard part is that he is well into feeling the effects of withdrawal. He said he has been on a lot of heavy drugs for a while, and getting off that is extremely painful. Ryan previously said that his 14-year-old son, they were climbing Mount Whitney in Northern California on June 10th when the incident occurred. During their 19-hour hike, Ryan said his son began showing signs of altitude sickness. The duo started heading back down the mountain, but things progressively worsened as they continued descending. Ryan said that his son started feeling considerably better about 6 miles from the trailhead, but his condition worsened about an hour later, and Zane started to doubt reality. Nick, you know more about this than most of us. If you're coming down from an altitude, even though you're experiencing these symptoms, they can kind of fluctuate. Like you can go in and out of that.
Yeah, and the way that and Mount Whitney's an interesting one because it's the highest elevated mountain in the lower 48 states, and so but it's a slow, long, gradual climb, but it's right near Death Valley. So Death Valley is the lowest elevation in the U.S. Mount Whitney is the highest elevation. So people's when they climb that mountain, their internal barometer is really screwed up because of
how low they started,
of where they start when they ascend. Yes,
yeah, they started below sea level, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm fascinated by this. I'm fascinated with Everest and all this stuff and altitude sickness. Nick, how does altitude sickness initially manifest?
Well, for me, I got sick on Mount Rainier, and it's a much lower elevation than Mount Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro's summit is 19,000, Rainier's 14,000 plus. But I got 60 because the rate of ascent was much higher on Rainier than it was on Kilimanjaro. So it took me a lot longer to get to the top, and therefore the altitude sickness didn't get to me. On Rainier, I went from 5,000 to like 12 in less than a day, and it beat the crap out of me.
Wow. Huh. Well, a short time later, when he started to doubt reality, Ryan said his son thought they had finished the hike multiple times over, but they still had not reached the trailhead. He said he started to experience hallucinations. He knew that he was hallucinating. He said he saw things like snowmen and Kermit the Frog. He told me that he couldn't tell if he was dreaming or not. This is a 14-year-old, by the way.
That's horrible.
And he would shake his head in disbelief like this is not real, like he was in the movie Inception or something. Eventually, another group of hikers helped them call for help, but Zane, still experiencing hallucinations, walked off a cliff and fell 120 feet. He said, I didn't see how there would be a way for him to survive it, so I screamed. This is according to the dad. He said he quickly raced over to his son after the fall and found him still breathing. Rescue teams arrived about 6 hours later, and he was flown to a hospital in Vegas. He sustained several injuries from the fall, including head trauma, a broken ankle, broken finger, and partially broken pelvis. The family has raised nearly $30,000 in a GoFundMe campaign to support him. So
that's a 12-story fall.
Yeah, that's messed up. Real quick, there's actually a race for some of these insane people from the base of Death Valley to the top of Mount Whitney. Wow. And they run across the desert, then up that mountain. Yeah, those people are...
you know you've won when you meet Kermit, right?
That's right. Yeah.
All right, here's an interesting story. Nobody likes getting stopped by the TSA at the airport, but when checkpoint alarm bells began blaring around a traveler's groin, as happened to one befuddled passenger not that long ago, there's a chance that it's due to extreme wetness in their pants, insiders say. A confused person on Reddit said, I flew for the first time in 15 years this week, and both airports flagged my crotch at the arms up scanner. The wet Wanderluster described herself as a mid-sized adult woman wearing bike shorts and normal underwear. The Skyway siren assured social media readers that her private parts are neither pierced nor outfitted with medical devices. She claimed that her pockets were totally empty. She said, I don't care about the pat-down. They were polite and professional, and it doesn't bother me, but I'm wondering what did it.
What kind of swampy crotch do you have to set that off?
Well, the internet know-it-alls say that it's crotch sweat, and they're likely right. Sweat And feminine products like pads, Depends, could be anything, but those seem to be the culprits, according to one commenter. Somebody said, last time I flew out of my home airport of Tampa, I got searched too. The security guard said something unnerving like swamp rot or swamp crotch or something similarly embarrassing.
Wow.
It's a bodily function that can wrongfully trigger red flags, per TSA expert Shauna Malvini-Redden. She said perspiration is possibly the weirdest thing that can set off the scanners. It has to do with millimeter wave technology and how the waves bounce off of water.
Well, you know, this sort of makes sense because after I had the prostate surgery in 2014, when I go through a scanner at the airport, many is the time they'll check that area where the surgery took place.
Really?
They see something anomalous.
So the insider said that because the machines often generate false alarms set off due to sweat, some countries, including France and Germany, have actually banned those scanners altogether. But massive moisture isn't the only reason TSA technology might mistake one's undercarriage as a dangerous weapon. It's been alleged that frequent flyers boasting larger features, such as a bootylicious behind, can expect to be stopped and searched before getting the green light to board a plane.
So I just deleted this email yesterday. Thankfully, I didn't empty my trash because this was it's for a product called Swamp Butt Underwear. And so this declares independence from visible butt sweat.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Look
you guys
into
heard
it.
about that? All right.
All right, now this one is this is a chunky story here. This is out of Australia. This is really weird and messed up, okay? A Beauty and the Geek star, you know, the reality show.
Yeah.
Charged with the murder of her boyfriend, was seen by Port Lincoln locals with her head shaved and acting oddly in the weeks beforehand. Police are still searching for the missing head.
Oh, boy.
Of a local man, Julian Story, after Tamika Chesser allegedly killed him, decapitated him, carried his head in a bag to an unknown location, and dumped it.
So I assume once they saw the head, they feared the guy was dead, right?
Officers are desperately searching cliffs and bush around the town, along with the waters off of Erie Peninsula, as Mr. Story's family are subjected to a horrific wait to bury their loved one. Two residents said that Ms. Chesser only arrived in town a few months ago, and that they only remembered her as having a shaved head. The 34-year-old who finished second in the series of series 2 of Beauty and the Geek visited shops in Central Port Lincoln, usually accompanied by a small dog, and footage has emerged of her caught on video or filmed by locals acting strangely.
Say what you will, but nothing like this ever happens on Jeopardy.
In one video, she's shown at a hotel wearing a long wig and a hat, which she then ripped off as she was yelling. In another video, she's also sporting a shaved head while doing gymnastics on a bar, on bars outside of a coffee shop. And in a third, she's standing bare-chested at the Port Lincoln War Memorial. Now, Julian Story, the guy who was killed, was living in a dingy rented apartment, reportedly on his own, until she moved in with him a few months ago. She appears to have been living there since at least December. It's unclear how they met. It's believed she moved to South Australia from Queensland. Police allege that the murder was on or about June 17th, but it was not until June 19th that neighbors of the unit she shared with him were alerted to a fire coming with inside. And when the emergency services arrived, they found his dismembered body and his missing head, that he was missing a head on the bathroom floor. Police later obtained and released video images and video which showed her walking 3 dogs and carrying a bag while wearing a hijab-style head covering. Police charged her with murder, and after being released from the hospital, she was admitted to a forensic mental health care facility.
So just for clarification, they were both contestants on...
No, just her.
Just her. Okay,
Yeah.
I got that part confused. All right.
In an effort to find Mr. Story's head, officers are appealing to the public for help in tracking her movements in the week of the alleged murder.
Maybe a new game show?
Wow.
Find the head?
And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you for now. Hey, a reminder, we got the 4th coming up, and we have MMR has a 4th of July weekend planned for you, and we're doing some big blocks that we are going to be playing through the weekend. So listen for a big 4 song blocks for your 4th of July weekend, and it's sponsored by Parks Casino. This is how you win. We're going to take a quick break. Come back in just a moment, so stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
Sound of that.
All right.
I'm not a big corn dude on that level,
salad.
but the other ingredients sounded enticing.
So this hash brown potato salad, I think I'm going to make it. The only thing I would do differently, it says poke some holes in the hash brown package. So it is saying buy prepackaged hash browns and then microwave it. I wouldn't want to microwave it. I would much rather cook them on a griddle and cook them through that way.
You don't want to get too crispy, though. That's the thing.
Oh, I wouldn't mind a little crisp in my potato salad.
All right. Hang on, John. John has an interesting potato salad story. Call with your potato salad stories. Hi, John. Good morning.
Hey, Steve.
Yes.
Let me show you how it's done.
What is that from?
That's a mom teaching her daughter how to.
Oh, yes.
Here, let me show you.
Right. That's how every porn movie which the mother daughter. No, Stephanie, not like that, like that.
Yeah, so a couple years ago, we were at a barbecue at my brother's house. My mother, who's like in her early 70s, brought over some potato salad. It was delicious. I went over to my mother's house a week later. I saw the mayo jar. Expiration date was written on the top of 2005.
So is that the secret? Is that the secret?
So and her excuse was, well, it's been kept cold.
Yeah.
Oh, dear God.
I don't know if I believe that.
I would have died.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Nobody got sick, so I
try to keep the mayo that you're using
Sean.
within the decade you're living in.
All right. This sounds weird. I'm going to go to Bob. Hey, Bob. Good morning.
Hello.
Hey, Bob. You're on the air, bud.
Yeah, just want to say something. There used to be a Cajun cook on the TV. I can't remember what channel. His name was Justin Wilson.
Yeah.
He used to
That'd be hot. I guarantee. He used to say that all the time.
Yeah. And he used to make a potato salad without potatoes. It was made with saltine crackers and salad dressing instead of mayo.
What? That sounds disgusting.
That's
interesting.
Did you
I like Justin Wilson. I used to watch him. I used to watch him all the time.
You know what that is? That's filet mignon. I made it with crackers.
Did you ever try it, Rob?
Yeah.
And was it good?
No.
Yeah, it was real good.
All right.
He says it was real good.
All right. Nick,
I don't know how the hell you do that.
Nick actually found a video of him in the recipe. I'm going to check that out, Rob. Thanks, man.
Hey, you're welcome. You guys have a good day.
You too.
Thanks. Listening to your show, all right?
Oh, thank you, man.
Buddy. I appreciate it. Actually, his name's Bob. I called him Rob. But yeah, Justin Wilson, I used to watch him.
Was this right before he was committed?
It may have been.
Look at this. I'm making potatoes out of crackers.
Nick found the video of him. He looks pretty advanced in age when he did the non-potato potatoes.
I'm making chocolate milk out of corn.
All right. Well, anyhow, I would like you to further these discussions amongst your coworkers today.
Make sure that they feel safe. Don't approach them too hard with outlandish salads right off the bat.
Right. Ease into it a little bit.
Yeah. Make them feel comfortable.
Look, we completely forgot about fruit salad. We needed your input today to determine the greatest salads of all time.
Given my druthers, though, I will take savory salads over sweet salads any day.
I'll take any of those. Wow. Okay. Interesting. All right. I told you it was a stupid conversation. Thank you for being a part of it. We're going to take a break. When we return, other dumb things to talk about and an announcement to make about a really cool event coming to the area that we think you are going to love. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you, Kathy. A little later on, we're going to get head coach John Tortorella of the Flyers, new head coach. We're going to chat with him in just a few minutes. But in the meantime, time to talk about some other things. I caught this article over the weekend, and it's a phenomenon that I think we've all had experience with. I had a couple of weeks ago the scenario where I woke up like, I don't know, hour and a half before my alarm was going to go off.
Yeah.
And just could not get back to sleep. And but it can be even worse when you wake up like maybe 15 minutes before your alarm is going off, or 10 minutes, where it's like you have to do that dance of, okay, do I try to go back to her? What's the point? Don't I just go ahead and get up now?
That's what I do.
It's so unsatisfying.
Because the truth of the matter is that, so I have, 2 alarms set to go. I almost always, 95% of the time, beat the alarms up, by 2 or 3 minutes, but you get that 10-minute, Preston. You get that 11 minutes, and you're like, what the F do I do now?
Right.
It's like, just get up. Because I find it, all the bull crap of what do I do sitting in bed, it's a waste. Get up and expend that energy getting ready and just get on with your day. But I mean, it always has to sit right in that sweet spot, right in that horrible sweet spot.
According to the National Institute of Health, studies across the globe show anywhere from 10 to 30% of the population struggles with insomnia.
Well, that I don't have.
Defined as consistently difficulty falling asleep and the inability to return to sleep after going to bed.
Well, if you get up at, I get up at 3:35. If I wake up at 2 o'clock, I'm not going to have any trouble getting back to sleep. But if I wake up again, you're looking at the alarm clock, and you just have minutes. That's where it becomes a pain in the ass.
I have had the few weeks ago where I get up at 3:50 and I woke up at 2, and then I lay back down. I'm like, okay, go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Wait, I can't go back to sleep.
Oh man,
I can't go back to sleep. Lay there for like 40 minutes. It's like, okay, screw it. I'm getting up.
There's the other thing where, and I've had it happen, it's sort of tangential to this, which is the absolutely not having any idea what, I thought, for some reason in my mind, I thought 1 was 3 o'clock and, inverted. And I came in hours early. I told you guys that one morning. But so, do they recommend anything if you're going to have that 10 to 15 minute pre-wake up?
And by the way, there's I was not familiar with this. It goes into a little bit more of insomnia. It says they can have a combination of nocturnal awakenings and what's categorized as early morning awakenings.
Used to have those a lot,
But I mean, as opposed to just the study finds that some people may experience early awakenings without other insomnia symptoms, such as difficulty initiating sleep. So some people can't get to sleep, but nocturnal awakenings and non-restorative sleep, meaning sleep that is substantial even with the recommended hours. But
obviously
that isn't substantial. I'm sorry.
We sing the praises, the truth. With the Sleep Number bed, I get a full night's sleep. Doesn't mean, though, you won't wake up a few minutes early, and when you do, that is an annoying thing I'd like to find out how to deal with.
I have all of these things. Everything you described, I got bad insomnia. I have trouble falling asleep. I have trouble staying asleep. And then the waking up before the alarm, that happens to me, too. So, I can't remember the last time I got a good night's sleep.
All right, so the constant waking up before that daily sound of your alarm is coupled with an immense frustration about not falling back to sleep. And that stress can feel isolating and all-consuming, taking more precedence than the initial sleep problem. So you just worrying about
that's it.
And that anxiety
not
creeps
falling
in.
back to sleep. And then it's this cycle.
Yeah. Oh, I can't fall back asleep. Why can't I fall back asleep? Oh, I really can't fall back asleep. And then all of that, and then your brain just starts going and going and going.
Now, if I fall asleep now, how many minutes will I actually sleep for?
That's it. You start doing the damn math, and your brain's working numbers, and you're like, what the hell?
So if you wake up suddenly in what feels like the early morning hours, resist checking the clock. You guys know my little method. I turn the clock around so I can't see it. Finding out it's 3 a.m. when you set the alarm for 7 can cause increased stress about the hours of sleep that you hope to attain. It says you look at the clock, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, like clockwork, and immediately tension might grit your teeth. You think of all the demands, how awful it is to be when you're sleep deprived, and all this mental processing and agitation is antithetical to the sleep state. It's making you more alert and aroused.
Oh, yeah. Massive boner.
Versus sending the signal to the brain that it's okay to drift.
Oh, yeah.
If your alarm is on the phone, checking the clock can pose an even more significant trigger.
He's got a boner.
That's one of my favorite clips. I love it. Play it again.
Okay.
He's got a boner.
Considering getting an alarm that isn't attached to your phone, they say. So when you actually pick up the phone and start looking at it, that can cause you to stay a little bit at work. Now, this is what I did not know, okay?
I did not know that.
And, Steve, this is not the waking up 15 minutes before. This is waking up like a couple hours ahead of time.
Oh, all right.
So, paradoxically, experts say you should get out of bed, even at 3 a.m. I had always heard stay in bed.
What?
Just keep staying there. It says abandon the idea of getting back to sleep. When you do that, when you let the pressure go that sleep isn't so effortful, sleep is more likely to come back.
I'll be fine in surgery later on.
In a stimulus control technique, you can distract your brain with a mundane task to help bring back drowsiness faster than staying frustrated in bed.
Like tap dancing?
Is that mundane?
Yeah.
That's kind of dynamic and exciting, though, isn't it?
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
So what is a mundane task?
That's a good question. They don't recommend anything in this.
Paint your bathroom
list. So get up and clean out the garage. It says as soon as that little voice comes on, change the environment. Get out of bed, Try to reset your brain and keep the lights low. Mentally assigning the bed with sleeping helps people associate positive sleep thoughts with their space. Leaving the room when agitation sets in can separate the frustration from the bed.
So what you're looking to do is extract those connections, and then that makes sense.
All right, here you go, Nick. Anything from reading a book to knitting.
Okay.
Or listening to soft music.
So knit at 3 a.m.
Are Santeria rituals, would they fall into this category?
Sacrificing a chicken at 3 o'clock in the morning might not be a good idea.
I try to read sometimes. That seems to having a book at the, on the bedstand or whatever, that might help.
Would it help more if you were to actually leave the bed, go into another room and read like in a chair?
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
Right? And that's what they're suggesting here, right? You disassociate that deal.
I think part of the problem for us is just inherently the time at which we have to get up in the morning. Like it's just too damn early. And because it's that early, I know that in the back of my mind. And so I put pressure on myself to get a good night's sleep. Yeah. And that just, that makes it worse.
The Kathy Romano story, chapter 1.
All right.
Could you imagine if that was the book he was reading? You'd never sleep.
I like the idea of getting up and knitting in the middle of the night.
At
Nick,
3.
So you can, yeah.
Knitting, 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 knitting.
He doesn't sound relaxed.
That'll put you to sleep.
I have an alarm clock that actually projects the time on the ceiling. So, and I actually like that. When I wake up and I'm not sure what time it is, I'm just as many times I'm comforted by the fact that I have 2 hours, an hour and a half left to sleep. That it doesn't bother me that much.
Many people are texting in saying that pleasuring themselves helps them get back to sleep.
What about a stranger?
Pleasuring a stranger or a stranger pleasuring you?
You walk around on, would you like a handy?
I'm sorry. I'm having trouble sleeping.
I noticed you were walking your Shih Tzu. Can I give you a hand job?
That's kind of a mundane task, right?
It's pretty
boring. WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Marissa. Yes?
What do the people look like in Peckertown?
I don't know.
They probably look like they're from Salem County.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a short work week this week. We're off on Monday. We're off on Friday for the 4th. So I thought it might be best to try to squeeze in some of these things that we do from time to time over a couple of days. And in fact, this is kind of almost like a slash segment that we're going to do. So we're going to, and we have new music. Right. We have new music to debut for the City Beat.
Schooly wow wow. A little bit of jazzier music for the man behind the beat with those oh-so street-pounded feet.
A little Miles Davis, I thought.
What's the hybrid? What are you pairing it with?
This might fall into connoisseur segment too. So there's a lot of
street connoisseur.
There's a lot of local restaurant and food stories that are going to be intermingled in this. And I don't think we're going to do connoisseur this week because we saved that for Friday.
And this news is too hot to sit on.
Well, this one is interesting. Nick sent me this story, and we've had this guy in our studio before. His name is Kevin Cooper. He's a chef out of Drexel Hill, and he competed on Guy Fieri's Chance of a Lifetime, a Food Network show hosted by Guy that pitted chefs against each other in tasks like frying chicken, operating a pop-up, and developing a new milkshake. We got this story from our buddy Victor Fiorello at Philly Mag, and he said after 6 episodes, Fieri had declared Cooper the winner. We had him in our studio to talk about it. Thought it was a really cool thing. As the winner, Kevin Cooper says that he was supposed to receive the following. Number 1, his own Chicken Guy franchise with franchise fees waived, assistance with the build out of the space for the franchise, any operational expenses after the first year that exceeded the revenue of that first year, $10,000 to be applied to any necessary legal expenses, and a guaranteed minimum salary for the first year of $100,000.
That's pretty sweet.
It's a nice chunky deal. Yeah. So Cooper finally opened Chicken Guy at the King of Prussia Mall on February 8th, 2024. We had him on, I guess, leading up to that opening up.
Yeah.
People took selfies with a Guy Fieri cardboard cutout, and they raved about the chicken sandwiches. Well, just over a year later, on February 23rd of this year, Cooper closed Chicken Guy, and it's unclear exactly why. But now, Cooper is taking Guy Fieri and associated companies to court. Cooper has filed a federal lawsuit in Philadelphia against Chicken Guy LLC and Earl Enterprises LLC.
So is the contention that even though he was the winner, he did not get a chicken dinner?
Come on.
Maybe. He was a winner, but didn't get a chicken dinner.
Your Honor, I suggest that my client was the winner, but did not receive his chicken dinner.
So he alleges that they never paid him the $100,000 minimum salary despite numerous requests for it, and that they likewise failed to cover the operational expenses that exceeded revenue during the first year. According to the lawsuit, those expenses total close to $69,000 and include close to $39,000 in Pennsylvania sales tax alone.
So I like all the parties involved with this, with Guy Fieri as well, and so on and so forth. To my untrained legal neophyte eyes, this seems like this could be a tough one because they did satisfy setting him up with the business, but he has claims that they didn't satisfy everything to its fullest extent, basically. Is that what I'm understanding, Your Honor?
I think you're understanding, sir. You may approach the bench.
All right.
I don't know. And, of course, they're going to, if they're being taken to court, I would assume. You never know. They may settle. I don't know. Or they may have defense of their own.
Listen, if they are willing, send over any chicken finger evidence to us. We will examine it. And with, of course, the appropriate dipping sauces.
Restaurant business is so, man, there's a lot that can go wrong there.
Cock-a-doodle didn't.
You should do that in Caruso style.
I wish I had sunglasses.
Yeah, you need sunglasses.
This time, cock-a-doodle didn't.
Marissa and her husband run a bar. They own a bar in Denver, and we were off air talking about the TV show The Bear.
Yes,
which we all love. And Marissa was like, "Well, why don't we talk about The Bear?" I'm like, I don't want to do that with TV shows nowadays because it's not like it was when we were talking about Lost. Because you never know when people are watching them. But she was just saying how relevant, specifically to her and Matt. All the stuff that happens on there because of the inner workings and the struggle to stay alive and try to make ends meet and all the details that you have to go through in any kind of a service industry like that are, man, complicated.
I know we were talking the other day about this. I mean, for over the course of years, as Marissa, you and Matt have been piecing together things and trying to make things work and appealing to an audience and your consumers and what you're providing. It's like that old thing of the guy who has 9 sticks in the, with the dishes on him spinning and trying to keep it all going. But in this case, I mean, this is why it's such, it has so many wonderful elements to it, but it's such an uphill battle to get a restaurant to take off.
It's a gamble.
It's a gamble.
It's a risky investment.
Yeah.
And I'm not speaking badly about the industry. I'm just like, you've got to do it right for it to stick around and really, really last.
Yeah, I mean, look, just word of mouth alone, and the way social media is, I mean, you have, the thing with marketing now is everyone's like, oh, get an influencer, and then people want money to get paid for some of those things, and there's just a whole thing. All I can say is if you want to help a small business around you, just post something on your personal social media. Let your friends know about it. Tell people about it, friends, family, whatever it is. Just word of mouth really helps.
I love that idea. I love that. A place that you frequent, that you like, that's maybe a local haunt that you want to help out, just put something up.
Yeah, and a lot of people are like, well, I'm not an influencer. I don't want to do that. But you're telling your friends and family, and that's just as important.
Yeah. But it's got to be good. It has to be good, or else it ain't gonna happen.
If you didn't like it, then just shut the hell up.
Have you checked out
Although, hold on a minute. I'm gonna go back on that. There are some substandard food places that stay open forever.
Forever.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not hanging anybody out to dry, but I've been in places that just serve, essentially fried stuff or pizza. that is not crazy special, and they will last forever.
They are front for something.
There's a place. It's an Italian place on City Line, Sal Manila's, and it stayed open for quite a place.
Way longer than I thought.
Way longer than I thought.
No, there's a review going around right now in like the Philly Mag camp, and it is ripping apart a business that just opened. And I've read it differently. Like, you know, before I may have been like, oh, this is salacious. This is crazy. Look at this new business. And they're calling it out. And now that I'm in that world a little bit more, I'm like, ooh, like you could have just not said anything.
Well, a bit of the bear revolves around
reviews.
They have a first out of the gate Midland review, and they're trying, and it's you're in the do or die time of a restaurant when it makes its debut, and now they're hoping that another reviewer will be more favorable.
Marissa, are you referring to the article where she went to the bar so you didn't have to?
Yeah.
I agree with you. I read that article and I thought it was kind of a hit piece on this place that just opened up. And I don't know, man. Like I guess everybody's a critic, and that's part of what a critic. It is mean. It's mean spirited, and a critic's job, I suppose, is to warn you about a place that you might not want to go to or whatever. But for a place that just opened up, for her to kind of assault the place, it just seemed to me unnecessary.
Do you know what's funny though? And I was watching this guy on YouTube who reviews movies and things like that, and he was talking about, and this holds true for just about anything these days, whether it be print or social media or whatever. If you can blow the place up, you're going to get a lot more clicks.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's very rare. I mean, there is a place for people. People do want to be recommended good places to eat and drink.
Yeah.
But if you really want to create a some buzz, you're going to be the one who's just taking some place to task.
Yeah. So I would rather just go to the owner of said establishment and say, hey, listen, I don't want anything. I'm not looking for a free meal here or anything like that, but my experience here wasn't all that great.
Right. Yeah.
So Chuck, there was a restaurant that he and his wife used to go to all the time, and it changed ownership. And he said that the quality went down. I said, well, then go to the owner. Let them know that you've been going to this establishment for many, many years. And since he's taken over, that the quality's gone down. Just let him know that. You don't have to go blast him on social media or anything like that.
Did he do that? Do you know?
I don't know if he did. I don't know if he did. But I've done that, myself. Like, there's a sandwich place that I go to all the time. I went there one time. The sandwich was terrible. I went and told the owner. I said, listen, I'm not looking for a refund or anything like that, but I like you, and I like your business, and I want to let you know that this was very, very subpar.
And how did they take that?
He appreciated that very, very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Here,
Roadhouse
let me
rules.
fix that for you. I'm going to take it into the kitchen.
I didn't give him that opportunity either. Yeah.
When talking about small businesses, Roadhouse rules. Be nice until it's time to not be nice.
Right.
Yeah. And then also back off War Child.
Back off, War Child, seriously.
Different movie,
nice.
same guy.
Yeah.
And also, your mom is a whore.
Your mom is a whore.
By the way, with the closure of Chicken Guy at King of Prussia, Guy Fieri's restaurant and bar in Harrah's and Chester, and Guy's Taco Joint at Live Casino, that leaves just one Guy Fieri operation in the region, and that is a small Chicken Guy stand at resorts in Atlantic City.
It's kind of wild
so
because
Guy's stuff has fallen out of favor around here.
But we were just talking about some massive deal that he just signed.
He's doing okay.
He's doing great.
Yeah, it's just his restaurants around here aren't really resonating. So, let me see. Hang on. We got our, speaking of influencers, we have, and I'll do my best to get his name right. Cast Iron Kyle is now joining us on the phones. Hey, Kyle.
What's up, wieners? How are we?
Oh, we're wieners now. All right. What's up, dude?
Yeah. You said it wrong, too, by the way. I wanted to comment.
I said Cast Iron Kyle. Or is it Cast Isle Kyron?
I don't know who that is, Preston.
Okay.
He answers to Cast Isle Kyron.
Cast Isle Kyron. All right. What's up?
I do not go by that name anymore.
Shut up.
He's not going to let you on with any of that.
All right. Go on.
I go to a bunch of local restaurants around our area, and I see so many people going and trying to get free meals as an influencer. I actually go the opposite direction, like Marissa said. Just share it. Just post it. And if you're going to go out to eat, you have a budget where you're going out for a date night, just hit a different small business and post about it. I see people and influencers saying, well, I have this many followers, I should get my meal comped, I should get this free, that free. Yeah. And it sucks for small business. If you're an influencer and you think that's the way to go, don't do that because they don't want you to come back.
The funny thing is, Isle, is that people will have like, we've talked about this, the glut of people who are now using that moniker, who had 3,000 people, or and they're trying to come in and they're trying to worm free stuff, as you said, Casey. And it complicates issues. And then they will also do the thing, which is real crappy, is hold the threat of, I'm an influencer. You don't want to upset me.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, they're strangling these businesses that have a low profit margin to begin with.
Yeah. It's not a cool thing.
Yeah, I see it happening a lot. Like we went out to dinner not that long ago, and the guy that owned the restaurant, I guess his wife was a follower, so he came over to the table and tried to give us all this free stuff. I was like, no, we already paid for our meal. Like, we chose this restaurant. I didn't choose this restaurant to exploit you out of free food.
Right.
Yes, it was good, and yes, I could do a story. But then that turned into them messaging me every week saying, here's our specials. Can you share them? So it comes from the restaurant side, too.
Okay.
You can't, push and pull people. It just go out and spend money with small businesses and try not to make everything in your life about getting free stuff.
That's the Kyron way.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we got to let you go, Kyle. Thanks for calling, man. We'll see ya. All right, he's out there. All right, something else from the city beat, and I'm happy to see this. This is official now. As of yesterday, our friends at the No Name Pops have reclaimed the Philly Pops name. And it comes with a new logo, new music director, and this is really cool. We love those guys. They've played at Camp Out for Hunger. We had them out at Subaru's headquarters for our Camp Out for Hunger payment there.
They're amazing.
Oh my God!
This is bittersweet though, Preston. I hope this doesn't affect our accessibility to them because they've been tremendous.
After 2 transformative years, and I'm reading this directly from the press release that came out, the No Name Pops, the fiercely independent orchestra formed by the musicians of the former Philly Pops, is officially stepping into a bold new chapter. The ensemble is embracing a familiar name, launching a dynamic new brand, and premiering a new music director who is 34-year-old Australian Chris Dragon. What a great name, right?
That's a great name.
With a bold vision for the future. The revitalized Philly Pops is not a return to the old organization. They're saying it's a rebirth with new leadership, new governance, new partnerships, and forward-thinking musician and patron-centric philosophy. It says the Pops of today is gritty, bold, and unmistakably Philly. The launch campaign...
And they love to fart.
...is...
They added that.
Yeah, they just wanted to make them more accessible.
The launch campaign is appropriately titled Philly Pops Reborn to Perform. And so the guy, Chris Dragon, the new music director, is an internationally acclaimed conductor. And he started as of yesterday, known for his electric energy and genre-defying artistry. Dragon is ready to lead Philly's most fearless musicians into a new era, they said.
The question is he well-respected in his field?
That's a good question. I don't know if he's ever taken a dump on the floor or not. So Dragon said this is about building something lasting, something open, something created by the musicians for this community. We're not looking backward. We're looking right at Philly's future, filled with a vitality, joy, and heart.
Looking right in Philly's fat face.
I saw something the other day about the Philadelphia Orchestra, and it was a quick ad, and I didn't get a chance to watch it to take in the details of what specific group it was doing this or when it's taking place. But I guess they do these shows by candlelight.
That's
Marissa,
nice.
you know about this?
Yes, they do
Looked
some
really cool.
At Bach Building, and then
Bach? Yeah.
Keith, there's a place in Media where they do them as well too, and it's fully candlelight, no lights on, and usually they'll pick one artist and play all music of that.
Yeah.
Didn't I send you one from the Beatles
Something
a couple
like
months
that.
ago? I've never been to one.
Yeah.
But I want to.
Smoky.
Yeah, they did one for Coldplay,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and the clip that I saw, and I've forgotten what it was something a little more contemporary like that, and I was like, that sounds like a pretty cool night. We're looking at
video
footage of them. Yeah, they have these candles all over the the stage, and then the accompaniment, the musicians are there. So that looks pretty cool. But I'm not sure which group specifically does it. Nick, do you have that?
This is specifically a Halloween show.
Oh, that was 2024.
Yeah, an Ensemble Arts.
Okay. Well, anyway, I don't know if it's the Philadelphia Orchestra, but I don't think it's Philly Pops.
Yeah, no, I think they're like separate groups. But while we're talking about it, did you see Ben Folds is playing with the orchestra this week up as part of Welcome America?
Oh,
yes,
awesome.
On the Parkway, or maybe on Independence Hall.
Outside?
Outside.
That's very cool. I love Ben Folds.
I think that's tomorrow night.
Okay, excellent. How's the weather? Weather's looking good, so enjoy it.
For 4th of July for the whole thing?
Yeah.
I bet you when the fireworks are going on, he's going to play Brick.
No, if you said tomorrow, that's Thursday. So the 4th is on Friday.
But it's a free show, and Mercer, you're right, Independence Mall.
July 3rd.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Tomorrow,
All right,
yeah.
so I found this really quickly as we were talking. Candlelight concerts in Philadelphia. Fever is one of the websites that shares them, and there is one in media, Queen versus ABBA, and then
that was it.
There's 90s hip hop on strings, Coldplay versus Imagine Dragons, and usually when they do these, they won't just play those two bands. They'll like intertwine some other bands similar to them.
Okay,
very nice.
Yeah, a tribute to Whitney Houston on August 23rd.
Ooh, I want to dance with somebody.
Tribute to the Beatles, July 19th through September 6th, Preston.
Love it. Love
Here
it.
we
Love
go.
it. All right. I have another City Beat story. And this one kind of blurs the lines of connoisseur as well.
We'll take it.
I don't know if you want to intertwine the music there. Oh, they're on different pages. So, there we go. Okay. I've got the City Beat and both of them mixed in. All right. So anyway, so after 12 years on East Passyunk Avenue, Chef Nicholas Elmy plans to close Laurel.
Oh, yes.
His
But not
acclaimed
permanently, right?
restaurant at the end of the year, but moving it to Center City.
Okay.
So he told the Inquirer, South Philly's always been great to us, and we love being in South Philadelphia, but our lease is up and it's time. Nick is a friend of ours. By the way, Elmy said that he was narrowing his search for a new location, and Rittenhouse is on the table.
I think that's a great location.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he is. He works at that's sort of his look what I can do restaurant. It's all chef's table, is it not?
I don't remember. I think you can order.
Well, my experience is we sat down and there was 8 courses and we had no choice.
It's got there's a. I know how they're going to be serving up the last portion of this. So it says it in the article.
All right.
So just about a year or two ago, they went a la carte. They pulled back from the prefix menu.
Okay. So Elmy said that he was, like I said, narrowing the search, and Rittenhouse is on the table, and he hoped that the transition from 1617 East Passyunk would be relatively seamless. He's not decided if the new restaurant would carry the Laurel name or not. That's the thing, Nick. So it may not be the same place.
All right.
It will have a wine bar, an a la carte menu, and a chef's counter for tasting menus.
I know the perfect new name.
Go ahead.
In Hardy.
In Hardy?
Laurel and Hardy.
Oh.
There you go.
Elmy said that he wanted Laurel's last 5 months to be a celebration with collaboration dinners featuring guest chefs after the restaurant's summer vacation from July 1st to the 15th. Zava and Kensington Quarters alumnus Matt Harper is booked for July 22nd, while Aqua's Eric Levely is on for July 29th. A dinner with Pray Tell Winery is set for August 5th. On August 19th, Elmy will cook at Provenance with chef owner Nich Bazik and Nicholas. It says in a Nicholas pairing.
Oh, okay.
And then in September, Bazik will cook at Laurel as well. So he's going to have all these other people coming in.
That's great.
That up, which is really great.
Good for him. You know, that's he's. We were talking with him at a recent event, and he's got more work than he could possibly imagine because he's also very much involved in the development of the waterfront here along the.
So let me finish this up.
Yeah,
so he's going to offer a 5-course tasting menu format through the rest of the year, including selections inspired by his 2019 cookbook, Laurel: Modern American Flavors in Philadelphia. He also owns Lark, the Landing Kitchen, and the catering venue, the Pump House in Bala Cynwyd. So that's what Steve's talking about. So all of those are great. We've eaten at all 3 of those. And the Pump House, when we were talking to him at the event, Steve, He was like, I don't know why I didn't do this sooner.
Yeah.
As far as a catering venue goes, he's like, it's so much easier than running a restaurant.
And it's cool case. It's really cool. It has so the interior is a lot of the original stuff that was part of the actual pump house itself.
Oh, industrial looking.
There are parts of the floor that are see-through, and you can look down to the old pumping facility.
That's pretty cool.
And no, it's awesome.
So I'm just wondering, for naming reasons, if Laurel has anything to do with Laurel Hill Cemetery or anything along those lines. Do we know?
It's probably not a good
don't
idea.
think so. I want to say it has to do. I thought it had to do with an herb or something like that.
Okay.
Because I remember asking him. There was a picture of on the wall at the restaurant when Rochelle and I went there, and it was of an herb, and I forgot what it was. And I asked him about it. He's like, "Well, yeah, it has to do with the name of the restaurant."
Okay.
So it was something along those lines. So.
Yeah, the Mountain Laurel, state flower of Pennsylvania. That's it.
Okay.
There you go. So not Laurel Hill, but maybe Laurel Hill Cemetery is named after that. I don't know.
Usually don't tie the name of a restaurant to a cemetery.
Yeah. Not good business decision. But maybe Laurel Hill had laurels growing on them. I don't know, and that's why they
I would guess, right? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
State flower, PA.
Let's go with that.
Honestly, it's fact now. I am going to the Landing today. I'm meeting up with a friend, and we're having lunch there. Is Landing different than Pump House?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Pump House is for catering.
Okay.
The Landing is a little more casual, just like a bistro, right?
Yeah.
The Landing, the salmon toast is
And
the best I've ever had.
The chicken sandwich is damn good, too.
But Lark is the restaurant that's up on the top floor of that building.
Gotcha.
Which is fantastic, by the way, if you haven't been there yet. Okay, something else. City Beat. This is kind of old news, but we didn't get a chance to really hash it out and talk about it. The WNBA is finally coming to Philadelphia as part of a 3-city expansion by 2030. The commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, and the 76ers announced it this past Monday. And the team is owned by Harris Blitzer Sports and Entertainment, which owns the Sixers and Comcast Spectacor, and will begin play in 2030.
And they haven't named the team yet, right?
No, not that I've seen.
So
I would think we would have heard of that by now.
I've heard a couple of, so Kyle Pagan from Crossing Broad, he said that we should name them the Bells.
Yeah, who was called the Bells?
There was a female football team named the Liberty Bells.
Right. So
back
you can't
in the
go
day. I
because
remember that.
New York's team is called the Liberty, so we can't call them the Liberty or anything like that. You can't call them Liberty Bells. And then down the hall, guy was saying Philly Sound.
How about the Georgia Peaches?
I was wondering, what about was it the tennis team that was named the Freedom?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
That's where the song came from, believe it or not. Billie Jean King owned that group.
That's what that was.
I haven't considered names at all. I mean, do you go with a Philadelphia theme, or do you do the old, something like, that's aggressive, like
the Ospreys,
lightning, something like that.
There are some teams in the WNBA that have sort of sister names to their NBA counterparts. So in Minnesota, I believe it's the Lynx because it's the Timberwolves for the Minnesota NBA team. In Phoenix, it's something to do with it's the Phoenix Suns, and then the WNBA counterpart is the Solar Flare. Anyway, so there are some partnerships, but I don't think there's a natural one that makes any sense for the 76ers to a WNBA franchise.
How about this? So Caitlin Clark plays for the Fever.
Right.
How about like physical ailments like the rash?
Yeah.
How
diarrhea.
all those people
The
are buried in
diarrhea.
the Potter's Field. All the people that are buried. What was that? The yellow fever? Is that the key?
Yellow fever.
Yeah. How about that?
Something like that.
Scarlet fever.
Steve, the rickets.
The goiters.
The goiter.
Well, it's
the boils.
The fistulas.
Craig Lagans texted and said, "What about the 76 hers?"
Yeah, that won't be confusing.
Yeah.
Not in the slightest.
It's a little
bit.
too
That's
cute.
fun,
but,
though.
you know what? Listen, and my question is, so will they be playing in the new facility as well? Okay.
Yeah.
What about something just generic and way off brand like the sandwiches?
Yeah.
Well, people had mentioned the hoagies. Philadelphia hoagies.
Seriously?
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
Mm-mm.
It's a pejorative.
Yeah.
But you could be like, I don't know, just looking around, you could be the Pens.
The hoagies would be like the
Pens.
As in Penn.
Pennsylvania, William Penn.
Pennsylvania, the Pens.
Yeah.
We've got the girl team and we got the mountains.
I like that.
Was Betsy Ross a Philadelphia?
She was a basketball player.
She was? I didn't
She
know
could dunk.
that.
She was the first female who could dunk.
Well, her house is in Center City.
Yeah, there's a hoop right outside.
Some people are suggesting the Broad Street Broads.
The Broads. Oh, my God.
The Fireflies.
The Dames.
It's going to be cool having that element here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, especially because when we get our team in 2030, we will get I'm fairly certain that we get the number 1 draft pick. So we are going to have the star coming out of college basketball.
We should have a full menu of teams. I mean, look at our soccer team is doing tremendously well. I mean, this year, the Sixers won.
The 70 Sisters.
Hey!
That's pretty good.
Sisters. Dawn Staley would have to be the coach,
Well,
right?
she's already a coach.
I know she is.
Yeah, I mean, they'd have to throw a butt ton of money at her,
Yeah.
but they might. I mean, Josh Harris would probably want to make a splash. And look, she could buy in and be a owner of the franchise at this point. She's such a legend.
They're talking about already folding her into the ownership role.
Oh.
Yeah.
Somebody had texted in, there's already an AI drawn up, I guess, logo of the Johns. That could be interesting. Most of the people in the country would have no idea what that means.
They would think it was like a jaundice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, back to the physical ailments.
Yeah.
Oh, well. All right. Well, anyhow, it is exciting news. And more than likely, they will play at the new arena that's being built, but that might not be ready until 2031.
That's what I was wondering, yeah.
So we'll have to see. But I think it's a great idea. I think that sport is growing, and
you know what?
Great players like Caitlin Clark are putting the spotlight on it. So
there's a basketball court right behind the building here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you suggesting we start our own
if
team
they
first?
need it for a year?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And hardly anyone gets shot there.
Only just once.
Only just one time.
As far as
That's
I
it.
know. All right, I got another City Beat story. It's more food stuff too, by the way. So Pika's, we've mentioned that they were closing. They made that announcement, and they also had changed the timeline of everything. They took to social media to offer what they called an exciting sneak peek on the fact that they had been their variance was approved in Broomall. And it also announced its closing had been delayed from summer to fall. They said, we confirm our dining room and takeout will remain open through the summer season. Thank you for your patience and understanding as we navigate this transition. Now, Facebook message boards lit up with speculation about the new location for Pika's, with some contending that it would resurface in a shopping center and others suggest a vacant lot previously used for a carnival. Case, do you have any? This is from Michael Klein's article.
Yeah,
by the
so
way.
the vacant lot for the carnival's right by the firehouse on Westchester Pike. I had suggested perhaps maybe they go. There's a restaurant called Charlotte's that's on Westchester Pike that I never see anybody there, but it's been open for a number of years. But then I also saw, because the rumor was that they were just going to be a takeout joint and not a sit-down joint, that they might actually open something in the Lawrence Park Industrial Center.
So it's my
that's more of a
understanding
takeout place.
that it will be a sit-down. There will be a sit-down component. So would the restaurant, would that make the most sense? Is the restaurant not doing well?
It's one of those places, and I've been there. The only time I was there for like a Lions Club luncheon or whatever. So to me, it just seemed like that sort of clientele, like an older clientele.
Right.
But I don't know.
Well, Pika's comes with a lot of weight to it.
Yeah.
It's below. Look, we had Sherry O'Terry on the show. That's her.
Listen,
she said flat out that's her pizza place.
We've already in Delaware County lost the last stand. We lost Gaetano's Pizza, which is one of my favorite pizzas I've ever had. And they had 2 locations, and then they closed those down. So I can't lose Pika's too, man. I just can't.
It's going to be in your neighborhood.
Was Gaetano's known as one of the premier spots?
I thought it
or
was.
is this you? I'm just curious because why would it close?
To answer, well, there was, I believe, an illness in the family, and so they needed to tend to the more important things. So who knows? Maybe they will come back. I thought Gaetano's was the best pizza in Delaware County.
Oh wow!
It was the sauce was amazing. It was a thicker pie. Really, really good stuff.
No, it's a something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, technically we were wrong earlier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
We gotta follow the rules on
Thank you.
the blub blub sound.
That's Mac and Manco, right?
Yes.
Yes.
How dare you besmirch the sound?
That is when you pull the lever, the marinara comes out that way, right?
Yes.
The pizza sauce, yeah. So, well, the restaurants, Pika's sneak peek post points those to the Marple Township Zoning Board, which on June 18th approved a zoning variance for a restaurant at 1101 Sussex Boulevard.
Yeah, that's in the industrial center.
Okay, it's a former gym in Lawrence Park Industrial Park.
Yeah, the Sussex Gym. I was a member there for a hot minute.
That makes sense because you could actually put the pizzas on the weight bar instead of the plates.
So you remember there for a hot minute?
Impressed. They had an indoor track in there. It looked like it was a roller derby track. I swear to God.
It was banked?
Yeah,
Or what?
It banked and everything. It was like, and it was kind of like wood, but it was kind of had this old clanky gym feel to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although restaurants typically value visibility, this would square with talk that Pika's new location will offer takeout and not dine-in.
Oh, well, then maybe that's to me. Well, we'll see. We don't know for sure, but that seems like a very large space to not have in-restaurant dining.
Yeah, so Pika's
What
makes
the who?
They make a square pie, and there's not a whole lot of sauce on it. I was just thinking about this the other day.
Is it a Sicilian pie?
Not technically, because it's not thick enough for a Sicilian pie. But they could and should use the pizza as bread for a sandwich, right? Because I think it just works out perfectly because it's like got like a little rectangle. They cut them into rectangles. And I think that would be delicious.
What would you put on your pizza sandwich? What do you think would fit good with two slices of pizza being the bread?
Spaghetti. No, well, I mean, you could. I would go with like a chicken parm sandwich, something like that.
One of my favorite things to make, well, I say make, this is a school lunch, was Steve, when they would serve spaghetti, they would also serve a toasted French bread. And I would pile that spaghetti on top of that. And I wouldn't eat it like a sandwich because I didn't have a second piece of bread, but I would eat it right on the bread like that. I loved eating it that way.
I know what you're talking. I would make as a kid, I would use like Wonder Bread and put spaghetti between the Wonder Bread.
Spaghetti sandwich.
Would you toast it?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Because I wasn't getting enough starch. That was my concern.
Yeah, that's the thing. You order a big bowl of pasta.
Yeah.
What do they serve a side with?
Bread.
Big chunk of bread.
Yeah.
You know? Can I get some potatoes too, please?
Would you like some more carbs with your carbs?
Yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, we'll keep an eye on this. We'll see what ends up servicing. Marissa, hold on.
Oh, there's a place in Dewey Beach. It's right near Dewey Beer Company. It's called Gary's, and they serve up. They get
Gary.
tomato pie. Oh, Gary.
Yeah.
They serve up tomato pie, and they make grilled cheese using the tomato pie slices.
Oh.
Which is like the perfect like drinking beach food.
Okay.
So 2 pieces of tomato pie.
Yeah.
Fill it with all the grilled cheese center, and then obviously the sauce part goes in the middle.
Yeah, that sounds messy. Was it messy?
It does.
Well, it depends on how much sauce you're getting on there because like Corporalese, they put like an inch thick sauce. That wouldn't work that way.
No, it's like a thinner sauce.
Okay.
Well, tomato pie is routinely served. It's a dish served cold. So you wouldn't do a grilled cheese sandwich with the cold.
You could.
Well, you'd like throw it in the panini so it warms
All right,
it up.
there we go.
Yeah.
Heat it up. All right.
I have had warm tomato pie before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they have the bacon, obviously.
Tony Rooney's does it
Right.
warm,
Yeah, so it can come out either way. All right, one more City Beat story. So I wanted to mention this. I saw the press release this morning. The Philadelphia Zoo is presenting the 2025 Summer Ale Festival. It's coming up on Saturday, July 19th.
I've done this in the past. It's a blast.
Is it cool?
I love watching animals drink.
No, you drink. Although you wouldn't, Steve, but I drink. I'll drink on your behalf.
Thank you.
No, it's a really good time, and it's just the only issue I've had with it in the past is that sometimes they haven't had enough beer stands, and so the lines for the beer can get long. But I think that they've changed that in the last couple of years and added more beer vendors.
So the fundraiser supports Philadelphia Zoo and its mission to create joyful discovery and inspire action for animals and habitat. So it's one night only. It's 21 and only. Guests can enjoy unlimited samples of more than 100 award-winning seasonal craft beers, seltzers, and ciders, indulging in the region's top food trucks, and grooving to live music.
I love grooving to live.
And visiting amazing animals as well.
Yeah. Show us how to do it.
This is the only beer event in the region set among big cats, great apes, and other incredible animals.
When a gorilla gets its groove on.
The drunk gorilla.
Yeah. All right. So do they have that little cat thing where the tigers can walk over you?
They have the same for the gorillas.
Do they ever pee?
Yes.
Okay.
I asked.
Okay.
I asked that occasionally. That very rarely.
Okay.
Yeah. But occasionally it happens.
They used to have.
I love that thing though. It's awesome.
At where King the Ka used to be at Great Adventure, there was a cat enclosure there, and I was up against the glass, and this tiger just walked up, turned around, and sprayed at me. So I just always think of that when I think of giant cats.
Did any get on you?
No,
Okay.
it was glass, so nothing got through.
Oh, okay. All right.
But still reflexively, you opened up your mouth.
Yeah.
Tickets are available exclusively through PhiladelphiaZoo.org, and it's expected to sell out, so you're encouraged to get your tickets now. There's complimentary parking for this, signature souvenir tasting cup, and live music zones throughout the zoo. So that's coming up on the 19th of July, as a reminder. I lied. There's one more city.
One more.
And we're putting it in because he's a native and he's a friend of the show. And it's Rob McElhenney.
Oh, yeah.
He created a video about why he is changing his name to Rob Mack. And I've not heard the audio of this yet. I just know that he has made a statement and he recorded this. So I wanted to play this on the air and see what we find out about. We know the reasons why, but this is him explaining it.
Okay, I'm going to dedicate exactly 1 minute to this. Start the clock. Yes, I'm shortening my name to Rob Mack. Mostly a stage name, but I digress. Is it kind of douchey? Sure. But the amount of time that I've wasted trying to get people to either say or spell my name correctly is literally days of my life. Trust me, I added it up. More importantly, it means thousands of you have had minutes of your life stolen by me because of my last name, including this one. Still, it's a family name. My grandparents, parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, and I all share it. And I love them and I want to stay connected. There's heritage. Except, it's not even really our name. Not only have many generations changed the spelling, the current one was just given to my ancestor by a government official who decided that this was now the spelling. All good. It was a crazy time, but times have changed and most people already call me Rob Mack anyway. My family knows me and loves me regardless of how many syllables I have, and that's the only thing that I really care about. There are so many things going on in the world, and this is a silly one to continue to waste your time with. Honestly, call me whatever you want. Marion, Jerome, Archibald, Eric, Maurice, Stephanie, Francis, Marvin, Gordon, or Sam. But maybe we just keep it simple and try Rob Mack. Let's see how it goes.
Yep.
There we go.
So that's the reason. You know what's funny? He talks about people just saying the name wrong. There was a great clip of Bert Kreischer, and I forgot if it was on his podcast or someone else, but anyhow, and there's video of it too, he was talking about our program and how much he loves coming on here. And he says, he's like, I'll be hanging out at the Preston and Steve show. And they're like, hey, you want to hang out with Rob McElhenney? Or no, what was it? McElhenney.
McElhenney.
That's what he said. Yeah, I love Rob McElhenney. Absolutely. And then he talks about, some of the other celebs that he's met here while he's been as a guest. And it was a really glowing thing, but we can't ever really play it again because he got Rob's name completely wrong.
Yeah.
And that's got to be, Rob's dealt with that, like Nick was saying the other day, his whole life. So he's just tired of it and change it and make it easy. And that's what he's doing. Marissa?
Yeah. Can I make one quick correction from earlier, guys?
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Preston. Ben Folds playing on the Parkway tomorrow or on Independence Hall tomorrow. I got that wrong, too. It is with the Pops.
It is
with the Pops. All right. With now the Philly Pops, not the no-name Pops.
Yes.
That's awesome.
As part of the Wow Wow Welcome America festivities.
Good for them. I love it. Excellent. All right, well, that'll wrap up the City Beat segment. You like the new music?
Yeah, I do like it. It's Miles Davis.
Yep. All right, we are going to take ourselves a break. We'll come back in just a moment. Don't forget, Word of the Week prize this week, $250 to Nebraska Brazilian Steakhouse and the Iron Abbey. So we give that away tomorrow. Only 3 letters, so obviously we're getting closer to that. We'll be back in a second. Stay with us. Giver, right?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to bed now.
Woof, I'm pooped.
Progressive muscle relaxation may work.
Okay, so like morphine.
No, not muscle relaxers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Muscle relaxation. So start at the toes, clench the given muscles for 3 seconds and release. And then Kathy, breathe through this process. The 4-7-8 breathing
there it is.
exercise.
You guys have raved about this.
Coupled with
I did it
muscle
last night.
relaxation can be successful. Kath, I did it not that long ago.
Please explain it again.
You want to do it or me?
We could do
Why
it.
don't you do it
Why don't you
together in
explain it
harmony?
and I'll do the breathing? No.
Okay, so what you do is you breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. You hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then you let that air out for 8 seconds. And then you repeat the process. And I think I do it like 5 times.
Yeah, I do it like 4 or 5 times.
And you're usually good after that.
And it's not like it knocks you out immediately. Like I remember every time I'm like,
I'm not sleeping.
This is dumb. It didn't work. And then the next thing you know, you're waking up.
And then you wake up and you're like, oh my God, that thing worked.
It worked. It actually does work. So it slows your heart rate down. And it helps you get into that
Kind of just
zone.
helps you relax.
Yep. And I would imagine you could.
Excuse me.
Why?
So, yes, you breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 7.
Okay.
Breathe out through 8, and it works great, man.
It has a regulating effect, and you think you're more inclined to fall asleep after that.
Now, it also says others may find that yoga may help.
Or cottage cheese.
Like getting up and doing yoga.
Oh,
right
at
yoga.
3 a.m. Honey, what are you doing?
I'm doing sleeping dog.
Yoga.
Meditation or reading can help when you wake up before the alarm. But
I don't
no.
think any of that would help me.
Really?
I would be exhausted.
I
like the
you're supposed to be.
But so are they saying to stay awake?
No. I mean, well,
To
yeah,
do this
get up
to
and
fall
do
back to
this,
sleep.
and then you can go back to sleep easier.
Yeah, no.
So these are obviously hours, as you said earlier. These aren't just minutes. I can see where that. So for me, if it has happened, like that's why I've just come into work, Preston. On those certain times, I'll just get ready and and
What
you
am I
have
doing?
as well. You did just recently.
Yep.
You
What am
just
I
come
doing?
in.
I may as well just go in. You know.
Next time, do yoga and try to go back to sleep.
Let me get some calls.
Go sleep driving.
I have a psychologist, Jenny, who's on the line. Hey, Jenny. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, Jenny?
I'm a psychologist, and I actually work in a primary care office, and so much of what I help people with is sleep challenges and anxiety stuff. So these things you guys are talking about are right on point. The 4-7-8 breathing for sure, and the idea of getting up out of bed either when you can't fall asleep initially, or if it is that middle of the night, like they said, we call it the 20-20 rule. So if you lay in bed for more than 20 minutes and you're still tossing and turning, your mind is still racing and you're awake, the best thing to do is get up and do something quiet and boring for another 20 or 30 minutes, and then try again.
So don't try to force it. So years and years ago, and I say it in the commercials because it's true with the sleep number, and everything. It's been much better. My sleep has been very consistent over the years. But the prior to that, occasionally I'd be like Nick. I have difficulty getting to sleep, and so the notion of trying to force sleep while you're in bed is a losing proposition. Correct?
Exactly, right. It just gets yourself more worked up, and then you start to associate your bed with this is where I lay down and I'm stressed, rather than this is where I lay down and I sleep.
All right,
So,
I have a question for that. For that, if you get up for you lay in bed 20 minutes, you toss and turn and get back to sleep. You need to get up for 20 minutes. I would assume you don't want to get on a screen, your phone or your laptop.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly, right. We say no screens, don't scroll your phone, don't turn on the TV. My go-to is just do something lame, like read the refrigerator manual, like something just totally, non-stimulating, and like they said, keeping it dark and quiet.
So nothing that actually engages you.
Right, because you don't want your brain to wake up more.
Okay.
So you could read a book, that you're not too, if you're not the kind of person that'll get sucked in and have to finish the whole thing.
The Kathy Romano story.
So then, Jenny, and this is a legitimate question. I assume then that pleasuring yourself maybe not a good idea.
Well, for some people, it does. It gives you that relief, and you get exhausted, and you can fall asleep afterwards.
Okay, so it's not off the table, right?
Right.
Okay,
right.
thank God. No, so I to me, I guess the presumption that you're doing something that would bore you, or at least
right.
Could you? So anything with a screen though is going to be like if you were to put on a documentary on drywall and watch that.
I mean, maybe, but we always talk about the blue light. Telling your brain it's time to wake up, any light. So that's why you do want to keep the lights dim.
Jenny,
and everything like that.
What about this? And I thought this article would touch on this, but it really didn't. But what about you wake up 15 minutes before your alarm goes off?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Normally, I would say just get up because it's better to go with your body's natural cycle rather than start falling back asleep for another 10 minutes and then you're more groggy, those 15 minutes later.
So, Jenny, my internal clock wakes me up just about a minute, 2 minutes ahead of my actual alarm, which is actually a nice thing. I can shut it off before it startles me, and that's good.
Yeah, that's great.
So, okay, so that's a desirable thing.
You trained your body when to get up.
All right, excellent. All right, cool.
All right. Excellent. Well, thank you, Jenny.
Thank you guys for sharing these good tips.
Bye-bye, Jenny.
Bye-bye, Jenny. Hang on. Let me go to Patrick. Hi, Patrick. Good morning.
Hi, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks. What's up, buddy?
Hey, so I actually have this condition called sleep paralysis.
Okay.
And it's basically when your brain is awake, but your body is still in that REM sleep cycle. So your body's pretty much locked up.
Okay.
And sometimes I will actually... I'll wake up in sleep paralysis when my alarm's going off, and I can't turn it off at all.
Wow. You're actually sort of paralyzed?
Yeah, I can't move at all. I can move my eyes around and everything else, but I just can't move my body.
That's got to be terrifying.
Do you know what's happening?
Yeah. I know exactly when it's happening.
Oh, he fell asleep.
Oh, Jesus. Hey, Patrick, have you ever had someone speaking to you, and then later on you can tell them what they were saying?
Yeah, my girlfriend actually. Sometimes she talks in her sleep, and I can hear every word, and I just can't move my body.
Wow,
Patrick, it has to be kind of a wild picture to see you there locked up with your eyes open, her asleep, talking away. It's got to be a weird dynamic. Yeah.
All right. So, what are the dangers that come with sleep paralysis?
I don't think there's really any dangers.
Okay.
Since your body is still in the REM sleep cycle, you can have hallucinations. I've seen a few, shadows on the wall or whatever, but it doesn't really bother me that much. I'm kind of used to it now.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. And how long have you been suffering from this?
Since I was a kid.
No kidding.
It's interesting. You wonder with things like this when people talk about seeing,
Thanks, Patrick.
With apparitions or whatever. I wonder, how much of that is born of conditions like this.
Yeah, good question. I'm going to go to Gene, who has insomnia. Hey, Gene, good morning.
You're a crumb creep.
You're a
lush.
Yeah.
I'll take you out back and make you go to sleep.
What's happening, Gene?
You're a creep. Preston, every night I wake up sometime between 2 and 4. I don't have to get out of bed until 5:30.
Oh.
So do you go back to sleep, Gene, or are you able to?
Generally not.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll just lay there. I never got out of bed and did anything like the psychologist
Try that.
suggested.
Are you willing to?
I will.
Yeah. See, I mean, I'd never crossed my mind. I always thought that the idea was to stay where you are, just try to settle back in.
Work through it.
Yeah.
The worst thing I did, the doctor prescribed me something called Ambien.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, that is a nasty, nasty pill.
Maybe you could try counting sheep.
1, 2, 3.
There it is.
There you go.
It didn't work, Steve.
That was
no, but give this thing a shot. But Ambien was that was nasty for you?
Every day after, I would rather not sleep than have a day after taking one of those. It's like you have a really bad hangover the entire day. Just the side effects really outweighed the benefit.
Yeah, people with chronic insomnia who have to deal with that issue, to me, to know, usually the joy of being able to go up and get into bed and you're going to relax down and rest, that's the absolute opposite for someone who has insomnia.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Gene. We appreciate the call. Good luck with everything.
Creep, lush coward.
That's your sleep therapist.
Yeah. So anyhow, obviously there's some things you can do, but getting up and moving around is one that you wouldn't consider.
Right.
The right thing to do. The breathing technique as
Square
well
dancing.
as well. Maybe a quick square dance. Little Alaman left, maybe. So anyhow, take those for what you will if you've been having problems. We do need to take a break and come back in a second because we have a guest. We're going to meet the new head coach of the Flyers.
Yeah.
We had an interesting conversation with Bill Clement about him last week. So we'll see if he lives up to that reputation. John Tortorella will be with us when we get back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
93.3 WMMR.
Ever wondered where to get the latest MMR gear?
There wasn't any toilet paper.
You need to understand.
And
don't tell anyone.
Dude, you laughed so hard. You were just...
You're so vulnerable.
I was at my most vulnerable ever.
Give me a hug.
Come here, buddy. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. Come here.
All right. So anyhow, so you've had this happen. And I saw this article with some pretty interesting tips. It says, instead of descending into self-loathing, have an action plan. Here's what to do when there's no toilet paper in your bathroom stall. So
well, this can be very helpful. Good. Yes. I think everyone can use this at some point in time.
So I'm going to read from this article verbatim because there are some good tips here. And feel free to share your own stories if you like. 215-263-WMMR. So it says in this article, number one, first thing is ask for help. It says if you're alone in the restroom, the obvious first step is to check other stalls for supplies. If you're not alone, just call on the love of your fellow humans. If there's someone else in the restroom, swallow your pride, make a polite request for assistance. Help! It says you may you may feel embarrassed,
right?
But we all have to move our bowels at some point, and it's significantly better than the... All right, thanks, Maris. A couple of shart outs. I'm trying to take care of these so I don't get backed up on my sharts. So for today, this one says, hey guys, this is Josh, a.k.a. Wolf Johnson from the YouTube community. I wanted to let you know that one of our YouTubers, Lori, a.k.a. Crazy Turtle, has a birthday on July 2nd. And if you could please give her a big birthday shart out, that would be great. Rage on and have a safe flight. So here you go. Shart. And there's a special one. And then it says, please... send my wife, Suzanne, and he's asking for this. We don't have to do it, but the full-blown Tom Jones shart out in recognition of her retirement on Wednesday, July. It says Wednesday, July. So I'm assuming it's today.
Yes.
After 20 years in the business office at Princeton Day School. He said, sent with love and congratulations. That's from Drew Procaccino, who says, I'll have a glass of wine and flowers waiting for her when she gets home.
Well, we have to do that then. It's a retirement. Yep.
Can you do it, Case?
What are we doing? Tom Jones?
Yeah, full Tom Jones. Here we go.
Yeah!
We got our sharts out the way.
And there's another birthday coming up tomorrow. Mike Jarrett's birthday is tomorrow.
Is that right?
Yeah, and when we were talking to him today...
should have said
I was
something.
going to, and then the conversation was over, and
Let's call him back.
Needed to be sure for sure. But yes, tomorrow is his birthday.
Do we know how old?
75.
75? He looks great. He looks great.
He was amazing for 75. I mean, incredible.
Yep.
Age-defying, that man.
Absolutely.
Love that guy. All right, well, happy birthday to you, Mr. Jarrett. I saw this interesting little article. It was a survey about what people find attractive. And the interesting part about it is it's more unconventional physical attributes that people find attractive. So obviously there are, great personality, a wonderful smile, stuff like that. The standard ones that you hear, chiseled jaw.
The classic signs of beauty or that would make someone sexy. These are things that are out of the usual realm, correct?
Yep. And they did it by state. It was a nationwide survey by Lens.me, an online contact store. Polled over 3,000 men and women in every state to see what conventional traits people are most unconventional traits.
Mr. Jurgis, I know we are essentially a contact store, but what if we were to do a survey about what turns people on state by state? Get out of here.
So they I don't know why they decided to do this, but they did, and it's interesting because I do have a couple of things that are not of the typical that I find are attractive on the opposite sex.
What comes to mind?
I've mentioned this before. I find women's hands can be
touching what?
No, not touching anything. Yeah. There's just a shape, a femininity about some women's hands that
we're all doing this.
And I know I'm moving my hands around.
We're all like van models.
Is an attractive attribute.
You like long fingers?
It's hard to say. I can't say just long fingers. It's the hand overall whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love a manicure.
Like a French manicure?
Manicure.
I'd like a manicure.
No,
it's like
it doesn't have to be French.
It doesn't have to be French, but just a well manicured hand.
I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll use an example for this. There's the movie V for Vendetta. Great,
Yes.
one of my favorite movies. And one of the characters that we find out in a subplot, is she's gay. She's a lesbian, and in this society, that's illegal. So that's why it's part of a storyline. The gay community is treated horribly. And she talks about how when she realized when she was gay, she was a teenager and in school, and it was a girl that sat next to her class. And she says in the movie, the character says, it was her wrists.
Her wrists.
And I'm like, I've never in my life heard of anyone being attracted to the shape of someone's wrists.
Okay, so if I were to conjecture...
So I thought that was just kind of interesting.
Like a feminine, supple wrist.
I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
But so that's an example of what might be an unconventional attractive attribute about someone. So anyway, by the way, if you have something and maybe it seemed weird to say this to anybody, this is your chance to do it. Our number is 610-660-9333. Something that's out of the ordinary, that's not your normal, I'm a big butt guy, whatever it is.
Yeah. And you can't deny.
No, I mean, brothers can't deny. When a
girl walks in with an itty bitty waist,
a round thing in my face, I get sprung, man. Want to pull up some. Anyway, 610-660-9333.
What did you notice about that butt real quick? Was it stuffed?
Now I can't remember the damn lyrics. I know that song in the back of my head.
I dig a...
I know my anaconda don't want none.
Yeah.
Unless you got buns on.
Sure, yeah.
That's right. Listen, you can do side bends or sit-ups. Please don't lose that butt. I love a messy bun. I am a big fan of a messy bun hairdo.
I thought you said a messy bung. I'm like,
a messy bung.
Well, we went from butts to buns.
Yeah.
A messy,
really mushy butthole is just
just lots of swampy
all right,
goo.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
When a woman will put it up quickly.
Yep.
And there's still kind of like a cowlick sticking up or whatever. That's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree with you on that case.
See.
Anybody else? You guys have anything that's odd or out of the ordinary?
I don't like mega perfection. I don't like the classic, model look. I like a gap tooth is fine.
I like a little bit of a snaggle.
Yeah,
I don't mind a
like a
snaggle.
JUl kind of thing.
So that can be cute.
Yeah, I think that's cute. I like irregular ears, not necessarily on the sides of their head, but one in the middle of the forehead.
My God,
Okay,
yeah.
But
I like a mole on the face, and I'm not talking about like
a live creature,
not like Uncle Buck with moly. Wait
a minute, Uncle Buck. Why don't you take a quarter down to the dump and have a rat gnaw that thing off your face?
Not to that extent, but like a little acute facial mole to me, like and
All
Steve,
right.
like that. It sort of makes a face less symmetrical. There's something not quote unquote perfect about it or whatever, but there's something about that.
It's
that
interesting,
I like.
and I find because I'm so imperfect. I like my wife has very short hair, and I was not always a short hair guy. I love her with short hair.
I'm curious,
but that's more standard and more generic. But that's something that I really love now.
I would love. I'm curious as to what women find attractive, like
this is open to men and women.
Yes, let us know.
Most definitely. So
I'll get a mole.
Here's one of the results, and we do have some calls coming in. I'm going to go to them in just a second, so hang on there. So in Alabama, Colorado, Mississippi, and North Dakota, like I said, these are done by state. Posture is a top subtle turn-on.
Look at the posture on that guy.
So that's what they're thinking.
All right, so if you the way you carry yourself, if you're more erect, for lack of a better word.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. For Arkansas, Arizona, Florida, New York, in fact, 10 states altogether, facial expressiveness is an attractive low-key trait.
So this is different than what I was naturally assuming, just facial expressiveness.
Mm-hmm.
So then you could put confidence is a large part
Well, no,
of
it's a little more like, so here's one.
like gurning is what you're saying.
No, voice tone is a top trait for those in places like Louisiana, Missouri, North Carolina, and Tennessee. So So the physical things that happen that I mean, your voice is a physical thing.
Do you get told
it's audible, but it's created by you. So
I'll get told that on the phone or whatever that that I have an attractive voice, and I said, but don't ever see me in person because that's a mess. But that is something I think that people will find attractive.
Another one is laughter.
Okay. Yep.
How they laugh can be considered a turn on.
There was a woman that I didn't necessarily find attractive, but she had the cutest little
like a titter,
like a Betty Rubble laugh. And,
okay.
And I remember, isn't that the cutest? Oh my God!
Like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. A titter, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm going to go to, let's go to UJ is his name. Hey, UJ, good morning.
Good morning, boys.
Hey, UJ. Oh, I see. Okay. I see what he's going to say. I thought he was going to be serious about it. Go ahead, UJ. Lay it on us.
All right. Well, listen, first thing I look at is their eyes. They have to have nice eyes.
Okay.
But I love a girl with small hands.
Makes it look bigger, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Thank you, UJ.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
Preston.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Don't deny it. But that's a standard.
Well, eyes, definitely. That's one of the most, a lot of people look at eyes.
Right. Does it necessarily always have to be two? Can it be more?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hang on. Let's go to Jason. Hi, Jason. Good morning.
Hey, man, I've been about 27 years in Hootie.
You were that close, Jason. What's up, my man?
I love a woman's feet.
You love a woman's feet. And what specifically?
Size got to be small, dainty. If she takes care of them, she takes care of everything else.
So you prefer smaller, more petite feet?
Yeah, not dating a Bigfoot.
Okay.
You know.
And maintenance is definitely high. You notice if a woman has been taking care of her feet and get them manicured and all of that stuff.
And she's doing that. The worst part of your body, she's doing everything else. So.
All right, let me ask you this: when you're looking at a woman and she's wearing shoes, do you wonder what's under there? Do you kind of mentally unshoe her?
Oh, absolutely. Springtime and summertime are great.
Okay, I've never gotten the foot thing.
No,
and I guess since I like hands,
right,
I can understand.
Which are the feet of your arms.
That's beautiful, man.
Thank you.
The hands and the feet of your arms. I can see why. Look, some people might not understand why I do. I don't understand why. I just do, but I don't get why people dig feet. But
I want to hear from women what they find because it will be like because we think in only the terms that we know. Marissa, I know Marissa.
Like
I can tell. I bet you I can tell you one thing that I know for a fact that Marissa likes. Which is sort of a standard thing, but I think some women can connect. You like the V.
Sure.
You're a big fan of the V below the abdominal
Yeah,
wall.
but that's kind of standard.
That's a standard.
That's sexy, that Brad Pitt.
Yeah. What's an anomalous thing that you find attractive in a man?
I have one that's fairly new. Not until a friend pointed it out to me recently, and now I can't stop looking at it. I had to look up the name of it. It's called the Unconventional muscle. And it is like right above the elbow.
Oh, yeah.
And some people just have it really defined. No, you're more triceps, Casey, where
right
you're rubbing.
Here.
This is lower.
Marissa,
it's
right
on
here?
the forearm. Yep.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like really defined on some people, and their forearm is a little tighter and defined, and this kind of bulges out a little bit.
That cut
can be really sexy.
I used to have a big one. From playing drums. Back when I was playing all the time.
Right.
It really popped without question.
Ooh.
So Marissa, I wish I would have known you back then.
All right.
Oh, sorry, Preston.
Yeah.
Marissa, do you like a hairy chest?
If it could go back and forth, like
what about
that Travis Kelce photo that came out, like no thanks.
No.
He's got a hairy back as well.
What about calves?
Love sexy calves, like sexy rollerblading calves.
Okay.
Into those.
Your X game.
All right, I'm going to go to Steve. You want to talk to a woman, so we get Heather on the line. Hey, Heather, good morning.
Big brown Guatemala nipples.
Getting sucked on by all sorts of pimples. All right, what's up, Heather? What do you find that is not your standard sexy trait on a man?
I don't know why. Maybe it's a sign of quote-unquote masculinity, but a nice, big Adam's apple.
Adam's apple.
So I've heard that some people perceive a correlation between size of Adam's apple and genital size.
Well, Jackie Bam Bam's got a giant Adam's apple.
He's also got a big nose.
Yeah, true.
So,
True.
And it's
a
his
huge
birthday,
dong.
and it's his birthday today. He does, yes, we do see that from time to time. Thank you, Heather.
Do you guys, I don't know if this is anomalous or not, do you guys like dimples on the small of a woman's back?
Yes.
Yeah. That's hot.
Is that weird at all, or is that
No.
just kind of normal?
I think that's okay.
All right. I mean, I don't care. Like, I like it, but I mean, do other people? Is that an odd
dimples?
observation?
Yes. No.
By the way, can I go back to the Adam's apple and the penis thing?
Yeah.
There's also a nose thing and a penis thing and feet thing. And what are we doing here?
I think we're looking for ways to suggest we have large penises.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is that, I mean,
If a guy has a head, it probably indicates a big penis.
if you have big hands, that's supposed to mean a big penis,
If
too.
you have a job,
so-
it means you have a big penis. If you drive a car, you have a big penis.
But the definitive, if you have a big,
I eat breakfast cereal, I have a huge penis.
if you have a big penis, then you most likely will have a big penis. I think.
If you have a big penis,
All right.
most people naturally assume you have a big penis.
Yeah. I think that's
It's a good sign.
the
If
definitive
you
sign.
can cause an eclipse with your penis, people assume you have a big penis.
Okay.
If your penis generates a corona effect, you probably have a big penis.
Virginia and Kentucky rate scent as the most attractive subtle trait.
Yes, very much so.
The natural scent.
Like the sulfur and burnt rubber.
Man, I was walking outside. I got yesterday from. I was leaving a Wawa, and a dude was walking in, and it was powerful body odor.
Yeah.
And no, in the worst possible sense. And it was like the Seinfeld episode. Like, it was so freaking strong. And I know we've talked about this a million times. I don't know how you walk around smelling like that,
Right.
And
You
not know that you're affecting everybody else around you. I guess, but like. Steve, everybody was turning their head. It was
that makes
palpable.
me gag. That smell makes me gag.
Nick, there was a guy at the gym a week and a half ago. It was the same thing. Like, if you were within 5 yards of the guy,
unreal.
You could smell it. And I was like, bro, go into the shower right now because they have soap in there and just go wash your pits real quick.
Listen, I'm not gay. Oh, I'm not hitting on you.
I'm not hitting on you. But I will wash your pits for you.
All right, I'm going to go to, this is an interesting one. This is Tom. Hey, Tom, you're on the air. Good morning, bud.
Hey, what's up, guys? First of all, I'm not a hooker.
I'm not a hooker.
Well done.
Somebody stole my thunder with the dimples above the butt. But I do love the way a woman walks away, like the way women just walk with the little twitch.
All right, is that all women or there's a specific walk that you look for?
Say again?
Is that all women or there's a specific gait or movement that will catch your eye?
That's it. You hit it right on the head. It's just the way they, like, swirl their buttocks. You know what I mean? Like, or especially if they're in tight jeans.
Swirl their buttocks in tight jeans.
Do you like it when there is one strong leg with sort of a deadish leg dragging behind?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, what happened? What happened to Kathy Romano? Is she on no more?
You haven't heard?
It's been a little while, unfortunately. No. Yeah, unfortunately, it was not a decision that we made.
But you can, if you want, go back the entire episode where she announced the what was going on, much to our horror.
Yep.
And her horror as well is available.
But thank you, Tom. We appreciate that. He likes it when they swirl around.
I was hoping
tight jeans.
buttocks.
Yeah, that call would get less creepy as it went on, and it did. The opposite.
It did not.
I hate when they scream, though. I don't like that. People come running.
Keep saying, stay quiet. Stay
Shut
quiet.
up. You're gonna this will be over quick.
Dude. Oh my God. All right, hang on. I will go. Let me cleanse that call. We'll go to Anthony next. Hi, Anthony. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, Anthony?
How you doing? Okay, mine was, I'm partial to her, obviously, but you got me.
What did he say?
But eyebrows.
He said, Anthony, it's a terrible phone connection. Can you speak?
Is that better?
Yeah, it's a little better. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, it's better.
It's not them.
Jesus.
We have a horrible phone system with a delay. We might as well be talking to someone out in space.
I regret this whole topic. I thought this was going to be a fun conversation.
I'm having a great time.
All right, what is it, Anthony? We can hear you now.
Her eyebrows.
Eyebrows.
Yes.
Sexy, well, like not fake, not painted on. You know what I'm saying?
Do you like thick eyebrows? Do you like pencil thin?
No, they're just. I can't explain. They're just perfect. With her eyes, they're just perfect.
He's talking about his wife specifically.
Oh,
yes.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I love to hear that. A man who is a treasure. Yeah.
All right, Anthony.
Good for
thank
you,
buddy.
Anthony.
By the way, I ran into Ashley Marie Gallo.
Yes.
The other day, I was out grocery shopping and saw her. She does eyebrows. That's her business.
She has a very good business. Yeah.
And she was there with her daughter, the cutest little kid, absolutely adorable. So it was really nice to catch up.
Does she have two now?
I don't know.
I think she has two now.
Maybe so. But anyway, yes, eyebrows actually in Alaska. It says eyebrows are,
of course,
what
the extra
find attractive.
heat, the warmth.
Yeah, warms them up. Yes, they do have two children. Steve, we just found that out. In Kansas, hand gestures make a big difference. That's kind of like what I was saying.
Like double bird? As if you're milking a lateral cow.
So in New Jersey, they don't care about the color of eyes, the shape and gaze of the eye.
I like communicative eyes, like that express. You can see there's a lot of emotion coming through the eyes. Do you like a more rounded eye? Do you like a doughy eye? Do you like
the rounded, bigger eye? Yeah, Rochelle has nice, big, beautiful eyes, and I love that. And I was watching, so you talked about the close-ups on the TV show The Bear.
Yes.
Iolita Berry has very large, expressive eyes, and she has, like Rochelle had noticed the other day, she has kind of like a freckle in one of her eyes? Whites of one of her eyes, which is kind of cool, I think.
Yeah.
Alexandra Daddario has the most stunning eyes I've ever seen.
They're otherworldly.
They are otherworldly.
I told her that in person.
You did.
And I felt creepy saying it, but it was also nearly impossible to not remark on how gorgeous they were.
And it was clearly nothing she hadn't heard.
Yeah.
I mean, there would be no way you could not comment. I don't care, even in a non-sexual or, creepy way. It's just something you have to observe.
I really tried to keep it the least amount of creepy as possible. And I probably failed. Yeah, right. Yeah.
By the way,
like that guy.
The guy watching the walk in West Virginia. That is what they're into.
A sexy
That's
walk.
a shocker, right?
Yeah.
West Virginia. There's one watching you walk.
I do when my wife wears heels, there's a nice gait.
Right. Speaking of wearing stuff, I'm going to go to Victor real quick. Victor, good morning. We were talking about unconventional traits that you find sexy. How you doing, man?
Oh, man. Hey, what's up, bitches?
Hey. What's up, bitch?
Hey, no, I'm saying the accessories, like, it could be like a jewelry, any ankle bracelet or something like that,
something like all right, so delicate jewelry, something like an ankle bracelet.
It could be small, nothing crazy big.
Not big old chunky. Right. Nice and subtle.
Hey,
not like under house arrest.
Yeah, Victor, what about like when a necklace dangles in down into cleavage?
That's great.
I'll take it.
110%.
All right, Victor. Thank you. God, we are batting 1,000.
What time do bars open up?
Earlier than you realize.
We need more women to call in, like right now.
Dude, I'm trying.
Yeah, I know.
online too.
All right, you're sure Jesse's a gal?
Yes.
All right, we'll go to Jesse. Hi, Jesse. You are on the air. Good morning. Save us.
Good morning. So I kind of got two. They're kind of the same, but I like collarbones and a nice neck.
You know what, Jesse? I just saw an article, and I did not realize this, that routinely and men's collarbone bones run lateral, whereas a woman's collarbone will V down. But you're right, and they were discussing, Jesse, the sexiness of collarbones. So yes, that. And what's the other one?
And then a nice neck, not the Adam's apple, but like a strong neck.
A strong neck. Does anybody come to mind when you think of a strong neck?
Celebrity-wise?
Mitch McConnell?
Tortured.
Maybe like Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth. Well, there you go. He's got strong everything. Here's the. There's. By the way, this is the picture.
90 Day Fiance. We're looking at a picture of Frank from 90 Day Fiance. Yes,
this guy has the most.
Rochelle watches that show. Believe it or not, he has no neck. The dude is actually really funny and actually a pretty cool character. But yeah, that's him.
So Marissa
Frank.
Knoll, our dog groomer, turned me on to this guy, and I'd never seen it. And I thought clearly this is like a caricature. But yeah, he's got his basically his chin goes down to his ass.
Pretty sure it's his name, Frank. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll wrap this up with a couple other quick things because clearly the calls are not the thing to do. Vermont votes for a surprising feature: crow's feet.
Crow's feet.
The soft wrinkles near the eyes.
I don't dislike that. You know, especially like if a woman is aging gracefully and not doing. I'll take crow's feet over botched or even just obvious plastic surgery any day of the week. You know, just allow yourself to age naturally, and men and women, and then crow's feet are just going to happen. It's inevitable.
I think I can point to a number of women who were celebrated in their early years for their beauty, who I think look substantially better, just, that natural process.
Yeah.
You know?
The survey also looked at top turnoffs.
Okay.
So the turnoffs are, number one is a
Where do they scream?
Dude. No. It is a blank, emotionless stare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The detached from the world.
Yeah.
That indicates personality.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you guys, how do you feel about freckles on the chest?
Great. Love it. Love freckles in general.
Big fan.
Yeah. Freckles in general are.
I love open wounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like a hatchet wound?
Yeah, like a hatchet wound. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get down with that.
So fake accents and fake laughs or smiles are second on this list.
Like fake Russian accents with deep Siberian laugh.
Another one is bad posture.
Okay.
Like hunched over, I guess?
Yeah. Like, for example, if you're always up at the bell tower of Notre Dame.
A monotone voice.
Yeah.
As well.
What about vocal fry?
It doesn't mention that on here. I don't mind vocal fry.
Okay.
If it's forced all the time,
yes.
I don't like that. But from an ASMR standpoint,
it might help you.
It's kind of triggering in a positive way. So I do like that sound. And it says also overplucked eyebrows are a turnoff. Overplucked.
So, we were talking about Pamela Anderson taking the no makeup route over the past couple of years. She had her eyebrows completely plucked, like removed, and then they were drawn on. I don't know what she does now.
Yeah, I don't like that drawn on look.
Michael Jackson was about to do that, right?
If you watch,
and he looked completely natural.
If you watch that Tammy Faye Bakker movie, with who played her,
it was
beautiful.
She's great from
Redhead. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on her
name. Played Molly's Game. That chick,
Jessica Chastain.
Jessica Chastain.
She ends up the eyebrows are gone, and she's drawing them on and stuff, and looks terrible. What, Casey?
We have another woman online.
Yay.
Okay. Well, this is a little more standard. We were going for things that are not your average turn-ons, but I'll go to Lauren here real quick. Lauren, good morning.
Hey, bitches.
Hey, what? What's up, Lauren?
Good morning. Yes, I know that it's a standard thing, but I was just watching 10 Things I Hate About You, and when Heath Ledger smiles, he's got the crinkles on the sides of his eyes, and when he smiles on the sides of his mouth.
So let me ask you, as a man gets a little bit older now, he's playing obviously high school in that movie, but I mean those smile lines and sort of those things that come along with that do you find that sexy?
I do.
Okay.
And it's like if it's a really genuine smile.
Yes, I think because that indicates again what's happening. Who the person is and if they can enjoy life. Preston, the stoic, glazed look indicates there's not much going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You're so wise.
I like that.
Makes sense. Thank you, Lauren. Appreciate it.
Have a good weekend, guys.
All right, you too. We'll see you. Okay. All right. Well, anyhow, thought this would be an interesting
was
to bat around
and it was
a little bit.
Interesting / terrifying.
Some interesting calls.
Yeah.
Most definitely. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back in a second, and we'll get even weirder than that with the bizarre file when we return. So stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment. options that are going to be explored in this article.
I think all things being equal, I think you would attempt to help out someone were you outside the stall and someone called for help from you. It's just the kind of thing that we could all commiserate on.
Agreed.
Right?
So swallow your pride, swallow your embarrassment, go ahead.
Swallow your fist.
And just ask for some help and see if some stranger in there has some toilet paper. Now, if there's no one in there,
right,
and you can't leave the stall for whatever reason, then your next step to contemplate is non-standard paper products.
Which is the thing that rifles through everyone's mind. What can you possibly use?
To wipe my ass.
Right.
Well, sometimes you have the ass gasket. It's just sitting there, right?
Have you ever used an ass gasket?
Let me go through these.
Yeah.
Number one, toilet seat covers.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ass
so we
gasket.
have them.
And these are in order, by the way, of which ones you should use. Okay. Given your druthers,
right,
that's the first one you should go for. And they give reasons why.
Okay, please.
These are your best option if available. They are sanitary and flushable.
Are they?
So they're really just oddly shaped toilet paper anyway.
All right, hold for one.
They're probably the smoothest option as far as comfort level goes.
All right. So this actually adds something that makes me angry now. Because I will go in, and many is the time I'll go in and see the ass gasket still on the toilet.
Still there.
Now knowing that it's flushable makes it even more.
And even if it wasn't, just go throw it.
Get rid of it.
Way. Some people's public bathroom habits, specifically
here
in buildings where they are regular tenants.
Yes.
They're here working every day. And I see the regular stuff happening all the time. And I'm like, honestly, really? Seriously? Seriously?
Filthy animal.
It's basic.
Yeah.
It's seriously basic to flush the toilet. That's what that handle is there for. Or take away. It's like going out in the woods. Leave no trace.
Leave no trace.
Right? It's a pretty easy concept.
And usually it's
keep it clean.
When you walk in, it's very anonymous. You have no idea who left the mess or
unless
whatever.
you sign the wall.
But I was washing my hands one time, and somebody came in, used the stall to go number one, and left the toilet seat up, and then left. And I'm like, just put the toilet seat down.
That's not as bad as
I agree.
Still,
yeah.
I know, but you're making somebody else touch that toilet seat.
Well, you're going to be communing with it in some form or another. Your body will be. So I got it. I understand. Technically, yes, you're right.
It's not the worst.
But that doesn't set me off.
That one's nominal, I think. All right, so then you have, your second option outside of the toilet seat cover, paper towels, obviously.
Okay, you're saying what you're saying. This list says is more corrosive or more irritating than the ass gasket.
Yeah, if you grab some paper towels, it says from the sink area, you have a scratchy but effective substitute.
Would you moisten said paper towels?
You can minimize the roughness by getting them a little damp before using.
And that's what I would do.
Which is what I was attempting to do when Casey came into the bathroom and saw my full frontal moment.
I had a similar moment to that where the person was getting paper towels, not for the reason that you were getting them, a different female reason. And she looked at me and she went, "I'm so sorry. Do not talk about this on the air." And I was like, got it. Check.
All right, now here may be one that you did not consider. All right, and this is what actually made me go, okay, this might be worth mentioning on the air, this whole conversation. The cardboard roll. Now, this is when you're getting down to, I have no options here. So the bare cardboard toilet paper roll might be mocking you from the dispenser, but you can use it for an extremely unpleasant wiping experience.
How would you extricate it? Like we have our
It depends on what you have. Ours is industrial size.
You can't
So
get in
I
there.
don't think you'd be able to do that. It's the type of thing that if you have yoga classes that it's like you can roll your back on, like it's that, you know what I'm talking about? Kathy?
So unless you have an extraordinarily large ass, is that going to help?
But
you?
it says, like paper towels, you can make it marginally more comfortable with some strategic dampening. But if you have to, you can use, and I think that's more like the standard home version of toilet paper, that cardboard roll.
Right.
You can kind of tear it apart.
And it's different sheets. I mean, and that's, you're really slumming it at that point. But when you have no options, you have no options.
All right. Then moves on to another level.
Oh, can I guess?
Yes.
The floor tiles.
No.
No.
It says, let's say you've wandered into some sort of Mad Max restroom where there are no paper products at all, not even the cardboard roll, and you've started your business and you haven't noticed it and it's too late. It says a wasteland of bacteria and shame.
Oh, boy.
It's time then to search for a hidden reservoir of paper on your person. Check your pockets and your wallet for anything that could be used.
That dump just cost me $150.
Well, it goes through some.
Really?
Options here. So,
all right.
Starts with tissues. Says this one's pretty obvious. Of course, if you have a pack of tissues in your coat pocket, your toilet experience won't be so traumatic.
Do you have tissues with you? Do you have a handkerchief with you?
I don't.
I have tissues in my bag.
Ladies usually do in their bag.
So walk over to the ladies' room with your pants around your ankles.
You could do that if you're desperate. All right. How about this? And I never would have thought of this. Receipts. If you went to CVS right before you hit the blue,
you're good to go.
You're in luck. You can wipe for days.
You can wipe other people's butts.
It says paper receipts aren't ideal.
No.
But they can get the job done. It says, sure, you might not be able to return those ill-advised impulse purchases, but you will have defeated entropy for one more day, and that's not nothing. So if you have that, you're available. Now, how about this? Wrappers.
I don't see. Okay, I hear this. I never have any of this.
Similarly, yeah, but you may, at that moment, you may have just stuck something into your pocket. You may have just picked something up, and you might have it in your pocket. It's worth looking for.
All right.
Similarly, candy wrappers or other packaging that you've got in a bag or in your pocket may also provide a bit of emergency relief here. And then, Steve, the one that you mentioned at the top, cash. Says, yes, that makes this the most expensive public restroom you've ever used, but wasting a few $1 bills might be worth it in this instance. If you don't have any singles, you're going to have to engage in a very serious conversation with yourself regarding the price of your dignity.
Man, would it be better to keep a couple of blank checks in your wallet?
Oh, man. I don't know. Maybe. I'm going to go to some calls and I'll come back to a couple of other ideas. Well, actually, let me get to these ideas because some of them have to do with people, what people are saying and when they call in. So another one says you can do make a do-it-yourself bidet.
So this was something I was wondering about because listen, you've now become subhuman, but you've got to do everything you can to clean yourself properly and leave there with some peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have to think, okay, the water in the toilet.
Right.
All right.
So
is that where we're going?
No, not at first. It says if you happen to have a bottle of water on you,
all right,
consider using it to clean up without paper. Water is pretty effective at this, which is why billions of people around the world use it instead of or in combination with toilet paper.
So this
could be a choice.
For me, I always go to the bathroom and I bring a pressure washer with me.
Oh, good call.
So I would use that first.
If you had to, I think you can flush the toilet.
Yes, exactly.
And then you have a fresh bowl of water.
Yes,
You're
exactly.
going to have to use your hand.
Yes, but you could wash your hands once you got out.
You can wash your hands as soon as you get out.
In fact, you dive over to that sink.
So you that is a one of the last ditch. Desperation moves.
Can I say I think we're saving lives here today?
I think so.
I think we're
These are
saving
good.
lives because these are legitimate. When you encounter it, you're going to say, "Oh, this is frivolous talk," until you find yourself, perhaps, and God, I hope it doesn't happen later on today, having to manually bidet your ass with toilet water.
Well, that's how some
You're gonna
cultures
thank us.
will do it.
Absolutely.
I mean, my friend she spent a long time in India. And I think that's maybe why they don't ever shake hands with their left hand, because that is your ass wiping hand.
There are some cultures, yes, that they use their hand for quote unquote grooming.
Your
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, let's take another crack at the Bizarre File.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, this morning is brought to you by Neumann, and the YouTube live stream that we have here is powered by Neumann University, looking for online bachelor's degree completion programs, doctorate programs, graduate programs. Join the webinar July 9th. More information at newman.edu. Well, we'll start this one off with bull semen.
Yeah.
Bull semen worth $100,000 as part of a haul of allegedly stolen Wagyu cattle uncovered by police in regional Australia. A 34-year-old man faces 20 charges, including cattle theft and obtaining financial advantage after allegedly stealing more than 100 cattle from his employer. You never don't hear of people cattle rustling anymore
not
these
semen
days.
rustling.
And this is semen and cattle. A vet allegedly contacted by a 34-year-old also faces animal cruelty charges for failing to provide treatment for some of the cattle. The cattleman was asked by his boss to sell 200 cattle, but is accused of arranging to sell 114 of the animals, including 45 valuable full-blood Wagyu cows.
What are you holding in your mouth?
Police alleged the sale led to a discount of almost $100,000 after the man brought the herd and thought a third party, the herd through a third party at a greatly reduced price. And a search warrant allegedly uncovered a liquid nitrogen storage tank containing all the bull semen. The semen was worth about $100,000 due to the value of Wagyu beef.
Yeah, that is the it beef right now.
Embryos for breeding were also part of the alleged haul, too.
Wow.
Yep. So, these guys are busted. The 34-year-old is charged with 20 offenses, including cattle theft, animal cruelty, and obtaining financial advantage by deception. Most visitors to Texada Island, a 30-mile sliver of land off the west coast of British Columbia, choose one or two main methods of arrival: a provincial ferry service with 10 daily sailings, or a 3,000-foot airstrip, which welcomes the occasional chartered plane. But a 4-year-old grizzly bear recently took a far more challenging route, braving strong currents and frigid water to swim nearly 3 miles across the Malspina Strait.
That's pretty amazing.
The exhausted young bear, who they've named Tex by locals,
I can do this,
hauled himself ashore on the 25th of May, unleashing a fierce dispute between residents, conservation officers, and First Nations over his future, and prompting a broader debate over the relationship between Canadian province and its wildlife. So Texada Island is now home to 1,200
looking for asylum
residents and one grizzly bear who was last spotted just after sunset on the 23rd of June. Before his odyssey, the 4-year-old bear was known to conservation officers on the mainland who had twice been forced to relocate him to avoid conflicts with human residents.
It's pretty wild.
On both occasions, he returned to urban areas within weeks.
Back suckers.
Before his swim, he was spotted breaking into fishing boats at marinas to access bait and once stalked 2 walkers on a trail. According to the Conservation Service, they said the people escaped by entering and remaining in the water for half an hour while the bear remained on the shore, circling back and forth.
That's crazy, but he swam 3 miles.
Yeah, this dude can swim 3 miles.
No problem.
Despite his somewhat checkered past, provincial officials said in a statement that there was a no-kill order on Tex.
Listen, I want to return to society. I know I can be a productive member.
But they added, if further behavior by the grizzly bear continues, occurs that threat public safety, conservation officers will respond to those situations. They said it's our hope that it will not come to this, but the bear will move on independently. Texas' presence on the island has sharply divided residents unaccustomed to apex predators on their island. They should euthanize him if they aren't going to relocate him, according to some.
Okay, just as long as you don't kill me.
And others said, that they argue the Bruin hasn't harmed others or livestock, so there's no need to, kill him. So
isn't euthanasia the children in Asia?
No, stop it. I once thought something similar. I thought it was a country. All right, several explosions at a fireworks warehouse resulted in a fire in Northern California's Yolo County, officials said Tuesday evening.
Yolo!
Officials issued mandatory evacuations for a 1-mile stretch as a result of the fire. It's pretty wild. They have helicopter video footage of this, of the thing exploding. Several structures on the property had caught fire, with flames spreading into multiple grass fires with a combined burn area of approximately 80 acres. Law enforcement officials did not comment on whether there were any injuries or deaths.
You would imagine that you'd have to have like quintuple the amount of fire suppression in a factory like that.
Yeah. The smoke plume from the explosion reached between 10 to 15,000 feet in elevation. That's how big it was. Yep. All right. A murderer has asked a judge for early release because he, quote, might change.
Yeah. Hope springs eternal.
A judge sentenced Jackson Vogel to life in prison without parole for murdering his cellmate in a hate crime.
You know what I'm saying? It's possible that I might grow bored of killing people.
Vogel, who is 25, was already serving 20 years for trying to kill his mother when he was 16.
Would I do it now? I don't know.
8 years later, he was given a new cellmate, 19-year-old Micah Loreno, who was serving 3 years for assault and vehicle theft. Vogel killed him within minutes of Loreno stepping foot in the cell.
He's kill crazy.
During sentencing, Vogel's lawyer asked the judge to consider the possibility of supervised release in the future. Vogel said that he might not show remorse or understand emotion, but he claimed that he was sorry, and the claim that he might change if given a chance fell on deaf ears with the judge.
So you're saying there's a chance.
As one might expect.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, I'm going to do one more story, and then we will wrap it up. Let's end with this one. At a recent adoption event, Sienna, a 3-year-old lab and pit bull mix, made a beeline for a man she'd never met and gently placed her paw on his leg. Jackie Pope, who is a volunteer at the Animal Control in Rutherford, Virginia, said she saw him and she started pulling on the leash very hard, which is not normal for her. The adoption event was held at a churchyard sale, and there were several booths with different vendors. Sienna, who needed a permanent home, was going from booth to booth greeting attendees, and she locked eyes with one man and headed directly for him. Pope tried to pull Sienna away, but she would not leave the man's side. That's when the man's wife, who had been shopping nearby, turned around and noticed something was wrong. She said he definitely looked like he was going to have a seizure. This is according to Kristen Davis. Her husband, Josh, has epilepsy. She said he appeared unwell and looked off balance, the telltale signs a seizure could be imminent. Josh was also showing signs of a myoclonic seizure. His eyes were fluttering and jerking, his wife said, and he had forgotten to take his morning meds.
There you go.
So
the dog sensed it.
He's 6'9", his wife noted. She said he's a big guy. We didn't want him to fall in front of all those people. And she added that they live around the corner, and that's when she brought her husband straight home to lie down and take his meds, and he managed to avoid a full seizure. Sienna was rescued, the dog, as a stray on the streets of Virginia with no known training in seizure detection. So that's the interesting part about it.
That is pretty amazing, but the dog just instinctively knew that.
Scientific studies have found both trained and untrained pet dogs can detect seizures, mainly using their sense of smell. Some canines can detect certain compounds in a person's sweat during or before an epileptic seizure. And Kristen credits Sienna with preventing her husband from having a full seizure.
The dog also apparently modified the medication that he's on and put a prescription in. It was
very good.
astonishing, yeah.
All right, and that is what I have in the bizarre file for you. Two things. We got a call from Nick Elmy a little while ago to let us know that Laurel is named for the PA State flower.
There we go.
So we did indeed clear that up. So thank you, Nick. And also, when we return from this commercial break, you will be the first person to hear, because it was just given to us, brand new music from Foo Fighters.
Oh!
We have a song called Today's Song, unheard by anyone as of yet. So we'll take a break, and we will debut that exclusive for you on MMR, where you expect to hear stuff like that. We'll be right back. And that is, what is that?
Your ass wiping hand.
Your AWH.
But like they'll have like
is that your AWH?
It's your
I'm
aw.
sorry.
Your aw for short.
I don't want to shake people's hands anyway. Now I really don't want to with AWH. Now that I know about that.
Well, it's just the left hand. The right hand is usually okay.
No,
But
that's
they'll take
completely
water,
fine.
That has COVID on it.
Splash it up.
Yeah.
That's your BTH, your ball tickling hand.
Yeah. Kathy.
All right, and then your BTH. And then finally, and this is the one a lot of people are calling and texting about, sacrifice your wardrobe.
Yeah.
No, get the hell out of here.
No.
What?
No.
This is the most dumbest story ever. This is not happening.
Did you not just hear
Kathy,
Saved lives.
people
honestly,
agreeing that we're saving
Honestly,
lives?
what?
what would you do?
This isn't going to happen.
She would wait. She would
Such
stay.
a denier.
She would
Oh my
stay in the
God.
stall until the building was demolished.
Let's say you had an emergency, like I got to get to the toilet right now.
I would
have
go
no choice.
home.
And you
I would.
You're going to crap your pants, is what I'm saying.
I'm not going to crap. I don't have situations where I'm going to crap my pants. That doesn't happen.
She's not realistic.
No,
Listen,
I am realistic. I don't have
She
situations
can will it
where
to
I'm gonna
happen.
crap my
She will
pants.
make it go back up.
There are times,
But I will
you
tell
might
you
get sick.
because the
What if you're sick?
well, hold on. often, no, all the time. If I go into a public restroom, I check first if there's toilet paper, because not for what you guys are talking about, just going to the bathroom, urinating.
It's sage advice.
If I don't have toilet paper and I have wet underwear, it ruins my day. It's so uncomfortable.
Okay.
So I check every time I go in here. If I'm at Target, wherever I am, a concert, whatever it is, I will check when I go into the stall if there's toilet paper there.
So she's saying something that really is the first step.
Well, yeah.
That you and while you may not think about it, make sure you check. Now, this is obviously we've gotten past that, and you didn't. But you can head all this off of the past if you make sure that you have, and if it's not in your stall or whatever, go to the stall that has it, or work out your things ahead of time. But Kathy, you're in a situation, as where Preston said, let's say you have, you just got food poisoning. It came on you like a bolt of lightning. And would you?
Apparently that has never happened to her in her 30 years.
How would you extricate yourself from this scenario?
But that would be a pretty unfortunate string of events that you all of a sudden have food poisoning and no toilet paper and you're out of your house.
Yes.
Like I don't see.
And you're in a foreign country.
And listen, I understand it might happen to some people.
You're in India.
Hopefully that never happens to me.
And you've sprained your AWH.
So anyhow, if it did happen to you, Kathy, you might consider this, okay?
All right, yes. Always wear something you don't like.
Using your socks. And this goes in kind of like an order of what you might want to go to.
Let me ask you, have you ever, under the stall, pulled the sock off someone in the stall next to you?
I need this.
Yes, I need this badly.
I'm going to be taking this.
I mean, this has happened to me in my home. It's not even a private, restroom or I'm
you
sorry,
really have no excuse to wipe your clothing in your own home.
But I have gone into the bathroom, sat down, started my business. Oh my God, there's no toilet paper.
Right.
Because apparently I'm the only one in the entire household who replaces any toilet paper.
So clothing, let's go the hierarchy, Preston.
Socks.
Start
with that.
Number one.
Says your best choice once you've hit this bottom because they come in pairs. And once you're done cleaning up, you can carefully insert the dirty sock inside its mate, making it easy and relatively sanitary for the garbage. So you could take your other sock, you put the dirty sock in the clean sock, throw it in the garbage can,
and you're done.
And then you're good to go. And listen, you were going to lose the other sock anyway because
and you look very sort of stylish, a Bruno Maglia, right? Maglia, what do they call it? Hey, so
would you use the inside of the sock or the outside of the sock?
I would inside, softer,
so you can still wear them.
I think the inside is a little softer. Than
a sock wouldn't be my first choice. I think I would use
suit jacket.
A suit jacket first because I hate suit jackets.
All right. Next would be underwear.
Yeah, I would probably go underwear first.
Reasoning that your underpants are going to be ruined anyway if you do nothing. Maybe make their sacrifice really count. But Casey, dude, I wear Tommy John underwear. I like good underwear.
I hear you.
So sue me because I spend a lot of money on my underwear, but they're really expensive.
Wait a second, though.
I want to ruin my underwear.
He does make a good point, Casey. I would actually say that a good pair like Tommy John, and I agree with you 1,000%, Preston, how comfortable they are. They're I think they might be softer than your socks, than your average socks.
Yeah,
you should really try
they're way more expensive, so I wouldn't want to do that.
You should really try Fruit of the Loom breathables. They're great. They're very, very comfortable, and they're not as expensive. But the sock is dirty. It's around your gross.
Have you not understood the parameters of what's happening here?
I understand.
Yeah, this is no time for that
you can
pie in the sky thinking that you have.
You can worry about cleanup later.
Yeah.
All right, and then finally, it says using your undershirt. If you're wearing an undershirt or layers of shirts, maybe you don't need all of them.
Probably not. Well, what about the tie?
Ties can be really expensive.
Doesn't matter.
So it all depends.
This is your human dignity. How much is that worth?
But given a sock over a tie, I'd do the sock. Socks are cheap.
All right. What if you take the tie?
Yeah.
And Garrett, the guy in the stall next to you,
and steal his socks.
Exactly. And there you go.
Now, here it says one final note. Whatever you wind up using in the situation, with the exception of toilet seat covers, do not flush it down the toilet.
No, horrible.
Even paper products like paper towels or tissues shouldn't be flushed because they won't disintegrate like toilet paper. Tissues are designed to withstand explosive sneezes, after all, and persist for a long time, clogging time in our sewer systems, for example. And if you do have to resort to one of these desperate measures, steel yourself and walk the remnants to the garbage.
They have left out hats and weaves as possible
What was
wiping
the last
material.
one?
Hats and weaves.
Oh, weaves.
Yeah.
Talk about expensive.
Steve, listen, the things that people will flush down the toilets. I have a friend of mine who No. He works for Public Works.
Okay.
And there was a pump house near this housing development, and he said, because there was like big time backups and stuff, and they had to go put in a whole new system. He said, you wouldn't believe what he found that people flush down the toilets, like baseballs, lacrosse
baseballs,
dildos.
Really?
Like, yes.
Yeah,
people
I remember
are
you
flushing
telling me that.
these things down the toilet.
That's the garbage disposal for your dildos, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, by the way, a lot of texts and calls coming. This text says, I once wiped my ass with a $20 bill when caught without any toilet paper while drinking at a party. Took the same $20 bill, washed it off, and then bought more beer with it.
Oh, God. Grody.
Mm-hmm.
I could not.
They wash it. Would you throw away the money?
I would.
I'd wash it off.
I would. No, I would.
Yeah.
I would. I just couldn't bring myself to recirculate that into the system.
Once you clean it, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go to Brian. Let me go to some calls here real quick. Hey, Brian, good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
I'm great.
I was on a job site once, and I was about an hour and a half away from work.
New music from Foo Fighters on 93.3 WMMR. It's called Today's Song. A little bit of a different approach in that particular rhythm. And Marissa just handed me some info about Foo Fighters. They have toured this fall. They're headed overseas, Jakarta, Singapore, Tokyo, Osaka, and Mexico City. And a couple of days ago, they released a cover of the Minor Threat song, I Don't Want to Hear It. Don't want to hear it, actually. But actually, and another interesting thing, Dave and his wife, a little issue there.
Yeah.
They went to Wimbledon today.
There
together.
you go.
So they're out and about in public. So it looks
All
like
right.
they're working on fixing things up there. But that is new music from Foo Fighters. Today's song. I don't really have any information other than that. But I
liked it.
New music for you to check out. So, yeah, definitely. I'm sure that'll play a few more times today on MMR. So make sure that you are locked in to hear it if you caught the tail end of that. We have a lesson question, and today we are going to give away as a prize pair of tickets as MMR rocks Young the Giant. They're going to be playing on Saturday, July 12th at the Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City. And the question from not that long ago, what are hands? That was about 9:25. Steve stated that. What are hands? All right. How would you refer to hands? Only call if you heard it, because you can't make it up. All right. 610-660-9333 is the number. So what are hands? 610-660-9333. While you are calling in, we'll fire up the trash.
The trash business is a gold mine.
93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
It's powered by PGW. Philadelphia landlords, register your residential rental property in the Landlord Cooperation Program with PGW. And you may not be subject to a lien on that property. Learn more at how to register your rental property at pgworks.com. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, Preston, reality star Todd Chrisley saying he cried himself to sleep during his first night in prison. Chrisley says, amazingly, his compassionate cellmate wiped those tears away with his nutsack. Katie Couric, in a sort of out-of-the-blue post on X, commenting on the Vogue cover of Lauren Sanchez in her wedding dress, saying, quote, big hair, conspicuous wealth, tacky is back. Sanchez took the high road, responding, Katie, you should start putting lipstick on your ass now that you're talking out of your butthole. And finally, just after a partial verdict was reached in the Diddy Combs' current federal trial, a new $10 million lawsuit has been filed against him by male model Edmund Laurent. Diddy says all this activity is making him seriously reconsider if he wants to go on sexually assaulting him. That's your Hollywood Trash.
Let's see if you know the answer to the question. What are hands? It's that simple. And we are going to go to Ryan and try and get an answer. Hey, Ryan, good morning.
Hey, Preston, Marilyn, and Steve.
All right, Ryan, what are hands?
The feet of the arms.
That is correct. Hang on, Ryan. We're going to give you a pair of tickets as MMR rocks Young the Giant in the Open 2025 Tour, Saturday, July 12th at the Tropicana Showroom in Atlantic City. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you by Neumann University. The Preston and Steve U2 live stream is powered by Neumann University. If you're looking for online bachelor's degree completion programs, doctorate programs, and graduate programs, we'll join the webinar July 9th. More information at newman.edu. Well, sometimes you just can't do something nice for people. Billy Joe Armstrong got an onstage surprise at Green Day's June 30th show in Luxembourg for the usual finale, Good Riddance, Time of Your Life. He handed a fan his acoustic guitar, only to hear that person play the opening chords of Oasis's Wonderwall instead.
My God.
Mm-hmm. Visibly shocked, the 53-year-old frontman said, "You told me you could play this one." And then he muttered, "Nice try." And then he took the guitar back and he finished the song himself. TikTok clips of the prank went viral quickly, and Oasis singer Liam Gallagher chimed in, calling it, quote, "the best song of the night," which is something he would say.
That's what he would do, yeah.
Fans joked online that loaning any stranger a guitar nearly guarantees a Wonderwall moment. And I only have one other story to pass along. The two men who shot former Ozzy Osbourne guitarist Jake E. Lee will be sentenced this month. Lee was shot 3 times near his Las Vegas home on October 15th of 2024 while walking his dog Coco around 2 a.m. He had confronted the men who were trying to steal a motorcycle. The shooter aimed at his dog, and 15 shots were fired in total.
Jeez.
One bullet almost hit Lee's spine, which could have left him paralyzed. He shared the news on social media, saying that the gun used was tied to 2 previous murders, making his case almost an afterthought. He's back up to speed, though, and he's focused on performing at Black Sabbath's final show in Birmingham on Saturday. He'll be playing, and first joked that his dog has to wake up early to watch him on TV. So he's going to be a part of that, and they are going to put these guys in jail. They're waiting sentencing.
Yeah.
So that was a short music news.
No,
Sorry,
it was
that's
good, though.
that I have for you this morning, but it came with some new Foo Fighters that we just played, which is always great to hear brand new music from great bands. It's what we do here at MMR. We're going to take a quick break, so we're going to be wrapping up a little bit earlier than usual. We'll return with the letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize, so make sure you stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
And I went into the porta potty, and there was nothing. So it was a chilly day. I had a sweatshirt and a T-shirt on, and I had to use my T-shirt.
That's absolutely fine.
Brian, did you realize before you sat down or?
No.
Oh, no, it was afterwards.
You know,
that's the thing. That's it.
That's the point at which you've made a critical error. That's why I think for our bathroom here and Brian on job sites, when you have the porta potty, there should be a small rack of clothing there for you to use in case you run out of toilet
just
paper, right?
clothing. Yeah, at all times.
I agree.
Brian, did you end up? I guess you tossed your shirt into the porta potty, right?
Yeah, I feel bad for the guy who has to clean it. But
Well, you could toss it into a porta pot because it's not going through plumbing.
Yeah.
But they eventually have to. Yeah, it won't go through plumbing.
Yeah.
But they do have to do something with that stuff eventually.
Don't they have people that pull the clothing out and clean it?
Yeah, I think they do. Maybe that's what I'm
Ooh, a shirt. Ooh.
All right, listen
a
to
dildo.
this. Listen to this. I'm going to Scott. This is very interesting. Hi, Scott. Good morning.
Hey, Preston, is this bad time? Can you talk?
I can talk. I'm good. What's up, buddy?
So I was out for a long walk with my girlfriend, now wife. We were going to go feed the ducks, feed the fish, and the urge hit, and we were far from anywhere, and I had nothing. I squatted behind a tree. I told her to run. It wasn't to
run.
This isn't going to be pretty.
Run! Get to the chopper!
And I had to use the pack of hamburger buns that we were going to use to feed the ducks.
Oh, my God.
My God. You used a bread product.
I did. I had
Okay,
to.
so could you?
Chopper!
Was it Was it in plastic? Could you have used the plastic first?
I probably could have used the plastic, but
I'm going to support you in your use of the bread. I think that probably on a more natural level would be better. And even with this knowledge, this woman married you. She's a keeper.
She did, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. And then it says here on my screen, there was some other situations.
Oh, yeah. I did landscaping for a number of years, and when there's nothing out there on a job site, and it's in the middle of winter, and there's no paper, there's nothing, I just rolled up a couple snowballs and washed it.
Snowballs.
I thought you were going to say like a shrub.
My God, Scott.
A snowball would work.
Yeah, but think about
the cold.
Yeah. How funky was that?
It was awful. The homeowner actually came out, and my boss told her what was going on. She was a friendly lady. And she said, that must have been one cold poop.
Oh, my God.
Let me ask you just on a basic level, Scott, how do you have intestinal issues or were we talking panic situations here, like you're sick?
It was. I used to have some pretty good intestinal issues before I got taken care
of. And because when that happens, people don't realize.
But listen,
there's nothing you can do.
Working though, landscaping though, if you're out all day long, and I would imagine a lot of times people aren't home. You can't say knock on the door and say, "Look, I'm having an emergency. I apologize." And you probably don't want to do that anyway. I would imagine you find yourself in a situation where it's like, all right. Pardon the pun, but I got to make do. I got to make this happen.
You better skim your pool.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Scott. I appreciate it. I'll bet you construction workers, guys out in landscaping,
snipers,
maybe. Yeah. No, but I'll bet you that group of people have to deal with this more than anyone else.
Because your options are much more limited.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I would always be wearing a wiping shirt.
Case, we don't have much time, right?
No, damn it, we're just cracking the surface on this.
Let me see
We're
here.
changing lives.
What is this? All right, let me go to Dan. Hi, Dan. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good. What's up, Dan?
Okay, so when I first got together with my now wife, I was born in Kansas, and I wanted to take her. We were going to visit family. And I wanted to take her to the river where we spent my stomping grounds when I was a kid. We used to go fishing, swimming,
It's awesome. Yes, how romantic.
It was going to be great. So I thought, we get down there and, we're walking around and I'm like, yeah, this is where I used to, She's looking at me and I'm like, well, I'm sorry. So I'm actually using the car that my mom lent me, while we were there visiting.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I opened the door to the old Chrysler Sebring drop top, and I thought, well, I don't have anything. And I'm looking around. I'm like, Mom's beanie it is,
Mom's beanie?
Yeah.
She had a hat in the car, and that's it.
I used the hat. I had to, man. I do construction, too, so I'm telling you guys, it's a rough life, man.
I know. I have no doubt. When you have to use your beloved mother's beanie.
God rest her soul. No.
Thank God Grandma wasn't in the backseat. Your skin's kind of papery.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Dan, that's...
My wife looked at me, and I'm like, I'm so sorry.
All right.
Thanks, Dan.
Rabbi, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
You don't have to say yes.
Oh, my God. Listen, at some point, you have no choice, or you're walking around with what we described the other week, the Chappelle thing, mud butt, and you can't have that.
It reduces you, but the thing is that you're not alone.
Yeah,
that's the song says.
I thought these were good tips. I thought these are good things you may not consider to check your pockets, maybe the cardboard roll. I mean, these are last measures.
But number one, as you said at the top of it, don't panic.
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
Relax, and you can get through this. So anyhow, just
John McClane it.
We're saving lives here. That's what we're doing. All right, so we need to take a break. Thank you for listening and for your patience and your resolve to stay with the Preston and Steve Show. $50 Wawa gift card. Take caller number 8 at 215-263-WMMR. Tomorrow is Wawa Hoagie Day. It's part of the Wawa Welcome America celebration.
So exciting.
Casey and I will be on Independence Mall tomorrow from noon to 2 at 5th and Chestnut.
Beautiful weather.
And you can come out. The weather's going to be great. Yep. And you get free. It's an 8-ton hoagie. Free to the public. Come and get your lunch and join us for that event. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a moment. We will get the CEO of Wawa, Mr. Chris Geison's on in just a little bit. Returning shortly. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
Anyway, enough about me. We need to talk about you. We're diving into the city beat, folks. Yep. I got some stories that have to do with things in and around or affect our area.
Scoobily wow wow. Yeah. He's the meat behind the street.
And I got this particular story because sometimes I have some outside contributors. Kathy Romano sent this to me.
Ooh. So she's a correspondent.
This is from NJ.com, and
right.
they have their list of the...
That's New Jersey, right?
That would stand for New Jersey. NJ stands for New Jersey. All 44 New Jersey beaches ranked worst to best for summer 2022. Now, we're not going to go through all 44.
Okay, just do the 43.
No, we're gonna go through the ones where most of our area head to.
Like not up by the city.
Yeah, there's going to be southern New Jersey.
Yeah.
So,
I will say, though, like I went through the whole list. I didn't realize there are some beaches out there I had never heard of that are very popular for people in our area, too.
Yeah.
So, obviously, the migration to the shore is a huge thing. It's been that so for decades and decades and decades. But, you know, it's funny what you just said, Kathy, because there are people who, like, I didn't know some of the, taking a look at the map, some of the beaches that are popular were shore towns that people go to. I had no idea existed.
Right. So there was one, and it's on the list, and I'm sure you'll get to it, Preston, but Ortley Beach. And it is not like, you know, what we consider the shore. And I actually recently had a conversation with a few different people who couldn't believe that I had not heard of it and said it's very popular. And it's
I never heard of Ortley.
Yeah, it's listed as one of the better beaches to go to.
What part of Jersey is that in?
Case, it's like, I think it's considered maybe like Tom's River.
Okay.
But from where I live, the people that I was talking to, they said it's the same distance, same amount of time for them to go there as it would be to go, you know, to Avalon or Stone Harbor.
I have no, listen, it's not even July yet, right? So usually you kind of have to wait until after like school is officially out. But I feel like I wonder if this economy is having some issues. No. If it's causing issues. I feel like the beach has not been overly crowded, and I wonder if gas prices or any of those things is wreaking havoc and causing issues with.
Doesn't
people.
help, you know, for sure.
Yeah,
So.
I don't know if you've noticed, Press. If you know, have you noticed it being a little bit quieter down there?
A smidge, maybe, but not like really noticeable. But
you do a lot of skeet shooting off your roof, so you wouldn't really even notice.
Yeah. I scare them away, basically.
They just run away. So give us a teasers.
First, let me give you the what they judged the WMMR. Everything that rocks. Get ready to hang it all up with Sabbath this weekend, Saturday in Birmingham, England. So big deal. Lots of huge names on that. So we'll have lots of recappage to get to you after the weekend. So here we are at 10:27 a.m. on a day that's going to be, I don't know, it's looking kind of crappy. It keeps getting like storm alerts and things like that. Chuck was saying on his phone. But it's supposed to be cloudy today, high of about 84. Tomorrow, sunshine, 90. Sunny on Friday and Saturday, upper 80s. And then Monday looks good too, partly cloudy, high 90. So your holiday weekend is going to be pretty decent. So we are happy to share that news with you.
I'm just looking at the weather today. I got to get out and mow the lawn. Do you think I can do that today, Press?
Yes. Maybe.
Okay.
Yep. Maybe. I mean, there might be a passing shower depending on where you are. But,
okay, gotcha.
Ray Coop is here.
Yay! Good morning, everybody. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Ray Coop?
I'm awake and vertical. That's all I'm admitting to. One of 2 days in for Pierre, who is vacationing this week. And, of course, you know, we'll have the workforce blocks and the coffee break music marathon straight ahead.
Did you hear the Foo Fighters on your way in?
I did.
What'd you think?
Surprise.
Yeah.
I had no idea we were getting it or it was imminent arrival, but sounds good.
Yeah, we had no idea. Chuck came in and he's like, in about 10 minutes, I've got some new Foo Fighters for you.
Well, you know, that way you get the honest response from the listeners when they hear it. You know, they're like, "What?"
I'm sure you'll be playing it later on.
I am pretty certain of it.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, well, we need to get a letter from you, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do that.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston and Steve Show, brought to you today by the letter
You.
U, as in
up.
Okay, that'll work too. Yes,
Great word. Great word.
All right, we will give that away tomorrow because we're a short week this week, short work week this week. So hang out for our friend Ray Koob. Enjoy his. And anything else you want to mention about the show? Or are you good to go?
Good to go.
Excellent. I want to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Dunkin', and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, and by Estate Roadshow Buying Events. You can get cash for gold and silver. Details at estateroadshow.com. Tomorrow on our program, we're just going to call it No Sad Bro.
We have no sad bro to spare.
Friday is, of course, the holiday, and we won't be here, and hopefully you've got the day off, too. So No Sad Bro starts tomorrow. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, gang. Bye-bye.
Preston.